The martyrs call, the dawn of the church is birth. From Jerusalem a flame ignites in the hearts of men. Peter's voice bold, unbroken, preaching the word again and again. From Pentecost, the Spirit descends, a torrent of power to loose and bind. The lame shall walk, the blind shall see, the light of Christ for all mankind. Glory for the righteous, the faithful sail. The gates of Hades will not prevail. Orthodox succeed to heretics' demise. The truth of the word continues to rise. Oh. The Arians rise with corrupted creed, denying the sun, sowing bad seed. Homoousios, the banner unfurled. Alexander Athanasius teach the world. Eunomius, Macedonius, dimmed by doubt. Constantinople, cast all of them out. The Cappadocians rose to fight. Trinity, 3 and 1, let there be light. Glory for the righteous, the faithful sail. The gates of Hades will not prevail. Through trials and heresies, triumph over lies. The Orthodox succeed to heretics' demise. The truth of the word continues to rise. Nestorius seeks to divide the Lord, but Cyril stands with strength restored. One person of Christ, Theotokos crown. The voice of truth shall resound. Hey. Two natures, divine and man, in Christ united, the eternal plan. Leo's tome, the faithful cheer. The church stands strong, forever clear. Glory for the righteous, the faithful sail. The gates of Hades through trials and heresies, triumph over lies. The Orthodox succeed to heretics' demise. The truth of the word continues to rise. False teaching sway the unfaithful. Vigilius repents and is grateful. Christ has two wills and two energies. Maximos and agape, eternal memory. Icons are raised, the faithful sing. The image of Christ, a holy thing. Honor the saints, the faithful siege on Damascene. Holy Orthodoxy. Through fire and trial, persecution and flame, the Orthodox Church marches on in Jesus' name. Martyrs and fathers, voices of minds, defenders of truth, uncreated light. Glory for the righteous, the faithful sail. The gates of Hades through trials and heresies, triumph
Yo, what's up, everybody? How we doing tonight? So we already got a membership from John Kell. Thank you for the membership, guys. We have a debate that we're reacting to tonight, and I heard that it's like pretty insufferable. I watched a little bit of it, so we'll react to it and we'll do like a breakdown for rhetoric and stuff. But otherwise, tonight's going to be like a chill stream. What's the topic of the debate? Tomorrow, the topic of the debate. So I'm going to be on modern day debates. Look at me. I'm horrible at product placement. You pull it up here. That way I can show you guys. I can actually show you. We got a few huge debates coming up, actually. A few really important debates. And then we'll open up the calls. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to be debating Metaphysics Mike on the prompt is Unitarianism or Trinitarianism, which is correct. Of course, I'm going to be defending the Orthodox monarchical Trinitarian view. I think there are some big weaknesses in his view that are pretty untenable. So we'll see how it goes, you know? Christos anesti, alithos anesti. Look at the haircut, bro. Ready for TV. Well, yeah, I was kind of overdue. But you'll notice that with lawyers, sometimes we get bogged down. We just keep on going from one thing to another, right? So, yeah, the topic of the debate is Unitarianism or Trinitarianism. So I think I have, like always, kind of a unique angle on this topic. So we'll see how it goes. There's another important one coming up also on Modern Day Debates, which I think is Saturday. Yeah. David Erhan versus Agan on does Christ have two natures after the union? I feel like this one has been a long time coming, right? So this is going to be exciting. I'm looking forward to watching this one for sure. You planning on getting into the essence energy at all? I mean, if it comes up, from what I gather, he kind of sees the Holy Spirit as an energy in the debate. Yeah, it kind of depends. I think he tries to solve that problem by saying that the Holy Spirit is a type of energy. So another man believes he can catch Alex on the Greek, but he can't pronounce the words and doesn't know a singular versus plural. Oh, the other man believes he can catch Alex on the Greek, but he can't pronounce words and doesn't know. I don't think we need to get into the Greek even, to be honest. Like, and you guys will see. I don't want to give away too much, but I don't think, like, I think this is very simple for my debate. I don't think we need to go into the complicated stuff. If we have to, then I'm prepared to do that. I'm ready for it. I do have chat. Is it wrong to say the glory in Leviticus 9 was a created effect? Why does it have to be a created effect? I don't understand why it has to. If the light on Mount Tabor is uncreated light, why does the fire have to be created fire? You can have uncreated light, uncreated fire. Time is short, but Dr. Sijuade's explanation of monarchical Trinitarianism in his debate with Jacob Hansen is fire. Well, I have a very seasoned, intelligent person that's helping me prep with the debate, and I'm hoping that this person, I'll be able to get them on for a stream either immediately after the debate, like that same day, or maybe like the next day or some other time to get them on so that we can discuss it. Because I'm very giddy about getting to meet and talk to this person. So Alex has an ABC 1, 2, 3 system level defeater, kind of, dude. I kind of do. I kind of do. So, yeah, like the stream. You gonna get him with the angel of the Lord? Well, he's just gonna say the angel of the Lord is some agent that has the divine name in him. I think there are some distinctions we can make there, but I think we got to go bigger picture than that. You know, if I'm gonna discuss this with him, right? Good luck, bro, for tomorrow, but I'm sure you will crush him as always. Yes. Now, what can I do? I'm just gonna prep. I'm gonna say my prayers, and then I'll do the best that I can do. And you know, the Orthodox best is pretty good. So he's gonna bring up Dionysus. Why? Oh, you're talking about me? I'm gonna bring up Dionysius, like Saint Dionysius. Saint Dionysius, pray unto God. Yeah. Easy Soren win, not even holding my breath. Well, I hope to not disappoint you guys. But we have, so my debate is tomorrow. We have David Erhan's debate Saturday in the middle of the day. And there's another important one, actually, that we should probably show up for. I think, again, this is Saturday. Is Fearless Truth. Our boy Nick over at Fearless Truth is going to debate, as Jay says, Captain Crackrock. Since Alex is going to pray, he's going to win. Yeah, I hope so. Right. Cuthbert says, as of Holy Saturday, I am officially a member of the Holy Orthodox Church. Glory to God. Many years, Cuthbert. That's awesome. If you fail, I'm unsubscribing. Well, you know, I don't want to let you guys down. I do take this stuff very seriously. And I mean, I haven't been streaming for a while, and I haven't finished out that Tulip series yet. Why do you think that is, dude? There's a lot of reading. There's a lot of reading. Saturday, we have a J debate as well. I think that's Monday, dude. In 5 days. This is on May 4th. Yeah, it's on Monday. Monday, dude. Modern Day Debates is like the whole lineup of the Ortho Bros, man. He's got me, David, Nick, Jay. Like, this is pretty crazy. Alex, did you see the Jay and John Kiriakou interview? We can react to that if you want. I saw maybe like 20 minutes of it. Then I had to go do something else. Captain Crackrock versus Fearless Truth should be good. Because like Nick is so chill. And that guy is like so animated, dude. I am funny. I'm thinking it's going to be kind of funny how it's going to work out. Cool. Okay, well, let's stop dilly-dallying. That guy looks scary. The pastor. Yeah. It was Fire Jay's live today, one of the best. Maybe we can take a look at it. All right, let's get to Rachel's debate, because I heard this Brian guy just totally. Well, I wasn't impressed with how he did against Jay, and I heard he totally blundered here. It's like completely unraveled. So, okay, what's the prompt? Is feminism good for women and children? I'm gonna let you guys in on my notes here. Look, here's the prompt. Is feminism good for women and children? Partner with me. Hit the target. Thanks, dude. Thank you, Octavian. What's up, dude? Good to see you. Oh, I have actually, I have updated the soundboard a little bit for you guys. I think this will be a little entertaining, but this one seems quite on cue with the partner with me.
What is my bank account going to look like in the next 2 to 3 years? I need 7 figures. I need 7 figures.
I need 7 figures. I need 7. What's my bank account going to look like, dog? Partner with me. Got to get him to partner with you, dog. Thanks for the super chat, man. Okay.
I like to think it's going to be history versus common sense. You guys can decide for yourselves. You know, it's funny because I was talking with my manager on the way over here, and we were laughing a little bit. Because the irony of this debate is she would not be standing here, with all due respect. She would not be getting paid to debate me if not for feminism. That's not an opinion, everybody. That's a fact. She would not have been paid to write her book if not for feminism and the people that work really hard to give her the opportunity to do this. Now, listen, I don't care how much money she's getting paid. I don't care how much money her husband makes. The fact of the matter is that she wouldn't be here if not for feminism. Again, not an opinion, fact. I've never been called a feminist before. I've been called a lot of things by a lot of people. Never been called a feminist because I don't think I am one. I'm just somebody that doesn't like to tell other people what to do with their lives, man or woman. Who am I to tell a woman, you should stay at home? You shouldn't be in the workplace. You shouldn't have kids after 30. No, I want people to live their lives and do the things that they want to do because life is short. What right do I have, man or woman, to tell you what to do with your life? Now, I'm not really sure, and I'll ask Rachel this question. What does this country look like for her? Does she not want women to work at all? Does she want us to be a third world country like Afghanistan where women are not allowed to work? Now, you're going to hear this word a lot in this debate. No, it's not going to be Donald Trump. But you're going to hear the word hypocrisy a lot. Because Rachel's made decisions in her life because of feminism. Rachel's had the opportunity to get out of relationships because of feminism. It wasn't even that long ago where women were in abusive relationships, but they weren't allowed to get out of those relationships. I don't care about someone's personal life. I don't care how many baby daddies they have. I don't care how many ex-husbands they have. It's not my business. But in this debate, it is my business because she's telling other people how they should live their life. Why is it okay for her to do that, but not others? I defer.
Thank you very much for that
Oh, yeah,
opening
that
statement.
was
We're going to kick it over to Rachel.
horrible, dude. Okay, so I just kind of tried to quantify his points here. So Brian's opening said he made what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He made 5 points. Rachel wouldn't have a job but for feminism, which the women had jobs before the feminist movement if they wanted to. They typically didn't. Brian says, I'm not a feminist. I just don't like to tell people what to do. What does that have to do with, remember the prompt, right? Is feminism good for women and children, right? I think what Brian should say is, look, ever since the feminist movement, there were many drawbacks. Sure, I'll give it to you guys. There are many drawbacks, but there are many things that worked in favor of that. And I'm going to talk about those things in my opening here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bada bing, bada boom, done, right? It's just like very scattered. It does. If this is, I saw a comment somewhere that said he prepared for this. If he needs to hire a debate coach or something, because this is all over the place. This doesn't even make sense, right? So I'm not a feminist. I just don't like to tell people what to do. What does that have to do with whether feminism is good for women and children? Nothing. Irrelevant. What does Rachel's ideal society look like? Has nothing to do with whether feminism is good for women and children. Women are permitted to have divorces because of feminism. Divorces. That's a con. I mean, I think he's talking about like no fault divorces, which came like kind of after the feminist movement. Divorces had to be justified before that, or to have like a good reason. And the last point he made was that Rachel's telling people how to live their lives. How to live their lives. Brian's doing that right now. By having this debate and saying feminism is good, he's telling people they should believe feminism is good. He's telling people what to believe right now in this debate, right? I'm not a feminist, but I will die for feminism. So the only out of the 5 points that he made here, none of these are relevant. Well, okay, so one works against him. One is again works, it's literally what he's doing. These two are not even relevant. He only made 1 point in his opening, which is that Rachel wouldn't have a job but for feminism. Okay, fine. So maybe he made 1 point. But otherwise, like none of these things have anything to do with the actual prompt. They had $2 from Charlie Kagwama. I am partnered. I am monetized. I am pay piggy. Oh my goodness, dude. This is going to be a thing on my channel, isn't it? It like makes me so uncomfortable, but it is funny. Thank you for the $2. Mix $5. Thank you for the $5. This dude is legit mentally disturbed. If you've seen his debates with Rob minus the beard, plus no mustache, plus hat, confirms it. The beard plus no mustache, plus the hat only confirms it further. I got you. I got your meaning there. He's kind of a weirdo, dude. I agree with you. Thank you for the $5. Yeah, he does seem mentally disturbed, or at the very least, there's just like an IQ issue there. That said, he has like a big audience. Apparently, there are people that listen to him. Isn't he he's like a radio personality or something, right? So, anyway, thank you guys. Another soundboard one for you.
That's amazing.
Thank you guys. Thanks. Appreciate it. Soaring Eagles. And we got a membership from Silver Ogre. You weren't a member already, Silver Ogre? What the heck, dude? Thanks for the membership. I appreciate it.
What is my bank account going to look like in the next 2 to 3 years? I need 7 figures. I need 7 figures.
I need 7 figures. Monetize maxing, bro. Oh, is the apostrophe bothering you, dude? These are just notes. I'm just scratching down notes, dude. So yeah, Brian's opening, stupid. He made literally 1 point and it was weak. Is that Rachel wouldn't have a job but for feminism. So that's his point, but it's wrong. It's incorrect. So really, Brian, 0 points for his opening. He made no points. I can't even give him one. He literally didn't make any points.
Rachel for her 5-minute opening as well. Rachel.
Also, he spoke for 2.5 minutes. He has 5 minutes to get his points across. He used 2.5 minutes. That's like horrible. You have to use all your time. This is like a gift. Every minute you're given is a gift, and you can use it to move the ball down the court for your side. You just can't get boring or annoying or pedantic or too repetitive, right?
Well, I have the timer set for you. The floor is all yours.
Well, thanks for coming, everybody, and being here. It's great to see so many faces, and all of you online watching, thanks for your support. Thank you to Andrew for giving me something beautiful to look at in the front row. A whole straw man opening is brand new for me, but that should be fun. So for my opening, the topic of the debate is, has feminism been good for women and children? I'm glad.
But hold on. By the way, since what's-his-face Brian made 0 points, he technically loses this debate already. Because in the opening, you have to present your positive case. He's saying feminism is good for society. You should have reasons, right? Reason 1, reason 2, reason 3, reason 4. He doesn't have any reasons. He already lost just based off points.
Children. So let's talk about the promises of feminism, what it told women and children it was going to do, how they got suffrage passed, how they got the whole agenda passed. It was supposed to provide women with safety, equality, and happiness. Let's look at the last 100 years and see if feminism has delivered on any of those promises to women and kids. So after no-fault divorce became kind of the law of the land starting in the 60s and spread across the country, we changed all of society. Prior to 1950, there were only about 2% of kids living with single parents in a single-parent home. Now that number is over 40%. Contrary to popular belief, women were allowed to leave abusive and dangerous marriages prior to no-fault. No-fault divorce didn't mean no divorce. It just meant you have to have a reason. So in the year 1900 alone, there were over 55,700 divorces granted to women for reasons like abuse or abandonment. Now you can just get one because you're not feeling it anymore. So what we have is broken homes, and the effects of broken homes on kids are extremely well explained in the data across all the data sets, and they're very consistent over time. So after this big wave of divorce in the 80s and all these newly single parent homes, children experienced a lot of destabilization in their lives, which put them at risk for everything you can think of. From, let's take a look at this. Fatherless homes account for children. 90% of kids who are homeless come from a fatherless home. 85% with behavioral disorders. 75% of kids in substance abuse treatment centers. 88% of kids who are committed to psych wards come from broken homes. If you look at abuse of all kinds, all the data sets show that kids who are living with a single mom and their partner are at the highest risk, more than 10 times more risk than children who are living with both married biological parents. Also for women, domestic violence didn't go away because of no-fault divorce. It shifted to cohabitative relationships. So the domestic violence rate dropped for married couples, but it skyrocketed for cohabitating couples. You are at 40% higher risk of getting abused by your boyfriend than you are your husband if you live with your boyfriend. So much for safety, I guess. What about equality? Well, men still do all the dirty, dangerous, difficult jobs. 92% of all work deaths are men. 90% of all infrastructure jobs, the essential infrastructure jobs that run everything you see here, are done by men. Women get less time for the same crime. Men get 30% longer sentences. Women get 40% more probation than sentences for the exact same crimes as men. Single mother households dominate welfare. 85% of SNAP money goes to women, to single moms. And if you look at welfare and out of wedlock births on a graph, they go up in tandem over the last 70 years together. So what about happiness? Are women happy? Well, unfortunately, no. We now have 26% of all American women are on at least one psychiatric drug. There's been 2 major studies done on women's happiness since sexual liberation. The paradox of declining female happiness and a follow-up study called the female happiness paradox. Both data sets across time, culture, economic status did not matter. Women's happiness has decreased both absolutely and relative to men. So in summary, no, feminism didn't deliver on its promises. It hadn't made women and children safer or happier. It made them more vulnerable to abuse and exploitation by removing the men that have the most interest in protecting them, and that would be their own fathers and their own husbands.
Thank you very much for that.
Holy substance. That was crazy. She every single point that Rachel made was like substantive and moved the ball down the court, right? So that was a very good opening. I just finished this last note here. I'll share it with you guys. Okay. So in Rachel's opening, she made what, 1, 2, 3. I should just number them. 4, 5, 6, like 7 points, and there were some in there that I probably missed because they were like sub point of a point. She said, "Look, single parent homes have increased 40% since feminism. And part of that is because divorce was available if justified," kind of rebutting what Brian was saying or like preempting that point. You said feminist no-fault divorce is what is responsible for the increase in the single parent homes. Kids show increased mental and physical harm since feminism. Women show increased physical harm since feminism. There's also how like criminal sentences and like job benefits, I guess, are applied unfairly because of feminism. Women they have increased pharmaceutical dependency since feminism, decreased happiness for women overall since feminism. So like, literally every single point she made here, basically every single word she used in her opening, very efficient opening from her. Every single word she used moved the ball down the court, right? So if I just like do a subjective scale out of 10, I'll give Rachel on this one, what it was like, she started at 2 minutes 45 seconds. She went like 4 minutes and some change. This is efficient. I'll give her 9 out of 10 because 10 out of 10 is just too perfect, right? And now what is the rebuttal? So when you're making an opening, you're not really too concerned with rebuttals unless there's something blatantly obvious. But I think what Brian has to do is to he should have been writing down these points that she was making as she was talking. And to say something like correlation doesn't equal causation, and to say that like, yeah, there's a lot of things happening, but that's not necessarily because of the feminist movement. Like there's a bunch of other factors that you're not considering, Rachel. That's what he would have to say. So overall, very good and efficient opening from Rachel. She didn't get bogged down in too much jargon. So maybe like a little too much stats for me, but when you're in the topic kind of calls for it, right? So overall, very good from Rachel here. Very bad from Brian Shapiro.
For that 5-minute opening as well, we will jump into the rebuttals. These are 5 minutes as well. Brian, I've got the timer set for you. The floor is all yours.
The word.
All right, hold up. Shane says, congrats on 12K subs. Yes. Thank you guys for 12K subs. It happened so fast. I almost kind of missed it, right? Left out happiness. But yeah, the 12K subs. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, if we can keep on growing, the whole point is to get orthodoxy out there, right? And like the root of all these problems that Andrew and Rachel and Jay are talking about, Cleve talks about sometimes too. I don't know. Hey men for 12K, let's do it.
The complete, inspired, inerrant, infallible, indestructible Word of God, the 66th book, King James Bible, amen.
Amen. That's right. We're getting up there, boys. Yeah, the whole point of all this stuff is to get orthodoxy out there, because once you address the root problem of all these things, like feminism, liberalism, dare I say capitalism, politicalism, whatever ideology these people want to replace their devotion to God with, that'll go. right? That's the whole point, is that once people get their priorities straight and they fix their worldview, these won't be such contentious issues anymore. So $5 from Ace Koala. Thank you for the $5. Feminism's precursor was the temperance movement. Rachel is right when she says that culture is feminist now. Excuse me. Basically, all conservative Protestants are too. They've all been feminized, dude. Even the frogs are gay. That's a good point. Yeah, if you think about the Prohibition era, there's a lot of women behind that. So it is a very feminized, very feminist movement. It's very, very odd. It's like these virtues like lacks self-control. It's like the government has to come in and like discipline these people or something. They don't have self-control and self-discipline to actually moderate themselves. It's pretty sad. 5 gifted from Nixie. Thank you very much. And $5 from Mr. Fist. Thank you guys for modding my chat. Pufferfish, Mr. Fist, and Octavian. I appreciate it, guys. Feel free to use your powers as you see fit. Right. Thanks again, guys, for the donations. Appreciate it. What are we gonna do here?
That's amazing.
It's amazing.
Anathema, eh?
Dude, there's like so many adventures we've had over the past few months, and I feel like maybe I should go through and just like try to get a sound clip from each of them, because you guys that have been here for the long run, you guys will definitely recognize them. It's pretty fun. Jay's stream today was the stuff. Okay, dude. Everybody's telling me about Jay's stream, about how it's so legendary. Let me get through this one, and we'll go to Jay's stream from today. We'll see all the craziness that happened with John Kiriakou. He's definitely a cool guy, right? Like every single reel that I get from him, watch it from end to beginning. But very good speaker and clearly a principled person to go to jail for what they believe.
Be hypocrisy. Rachel just talked about abuse, divorce. I want to be very clear with what I'm about to say. It is normally not my business to talk about how many children you have, how many ex-husbands you have. But when you have somebody to my left who wants to tell other women how to live their lives, I'm going to bring this up, and I'm going to bring up some studies. Now, Rachel has 3 baby daddies. Why is that important? Well, Guzzo and Hirschberg's study says that if you do have multiple baby daddies, family has higher stress, more likely to have more mental health issues. The things that you claim that you care so much about, I do as well.
It's pretty slimy, dude.
The Dorius study, lower income and families most likely in children had a lower education rate. The Rutgers study, you just talked about physical violence. The Rutgers study, which, by the way, these studies have just come out in the last couple of years. You could look it up if you would like on your phone. By the way, you want to go back to 50 years or 100 years ago, then why do you use a cell phone? I'm just curious. Why do you use a cell phone? You can laugh, but if you want to go back to the way things were 50 or 100 years ago, we were a slavery nation. Are we still a slavery nation now? Do you want to go back to slavery? Should black people be allowed to vote? I'd love you to answer those questions. But anyway, go back to the Rutgers study. If you have multiple baby daddies,
he's unraveling,
much higher
dude.
rate. In fact, a 24% higher risk of physical violence and sex abuse. The Halpern study, among other studies, you're likely to be below the poverty line if you have multiple baby daddies. Now, you might tell me right now, and I would believe you, if you said, I got through it, my kids grew up to be great people, and I would say, I'm happy for you. I think that's great. But why is it okay for you, but not okay for them? Why is it okay for you to say, well, you know what, I made some, maybe you won't say it was a mistake. I don't know. I'll ask you. But why would it be okay for you hypothetically to say, I made some mistakes, but, you know, everything turned out okay. My kids turned out okay. Why can't other women use those same excuses if they have kids after 30 or if they want their own career? If you want to be a stay-at-home mom with kids, I think that's great. Go ahead and do that. But if you want to be out there in the workforce and be a doctor or a lawyer, you should be allowed to do that too. And Bible thumpers shouldn't be telling you what you should or shouldn't do. That's exactly what you do, Rachel. So I'd like you to explain to this audience right now why it's okay for you to have 3 baby daddies, why it's okay for you to take those risks and those studies that I just mentioned for your kids, but why is it not okay for everybody else?
We will switch.
That was the dumbest rebuttal I've heard like almost ever in my life, dude. This was horrible. The guy is making her points. Yeah, exactly. This is why you have to identify your points before you go into a debate. Like, what are the things that you want to talk about, right? I'm just going to give him a 0 out of 10, right? This is obvious, right? So his first point was that Rachel's a hypocrite because she tells people not to get divorced while she has 3 baby daddies. What on earth does that have to do with whether feminism is good for women and children? Nothing. Zero. It's irrelevant. Wholly irrelevant. He said, if you want to go back in time to where we had where you had to have a reason for divorce, should we also go back in time and bring back slavery? What is he talking about? She never said to go back in time, by the way. She said divorce was available if justified. Feminist no-fault divorce increases in single parent, or increase the amount of single parent homes, right? So if divorce was available, he's saying, oh, so you want to go back in time, bring back slavery? No. That's not what she said. Brian made the point that baby daddies are harmful, but he totally missed that Rachel already made the connection that the reason why people have so many baby daddies is because I can't believe that, like, this needs to be discussed. The reason that this is so like elementary. The reason why people have so many baby daddies is because feminism permitted no-fault divorce, or it led to no-fault divorce, right? Brian's next point, why is it okay for you to do all these things and not anyone else? Has nothing to do with whether feminism is good for women and children. And then he said, Bible thumpers shouldn't tell people what to do. Why is he telling Bible thumpers what to do? By telling them to not tell people what to do, he's telling them what to do. How does he not see this like vicious double standard and circularity? Like, his whole thing is about, he's not going to actually talk about the topic of the debate. His whole thing is going to be about hypocrisy. Dude, this guy's the biggest hypocrite on the planet. And he doesn't, he is so blind. He doesn't even see it. He doesn't even see it. But yeah, Rob, sir. Robbie the sir. You're right. The guy was making her points. Yeah, why is he debating? I don't know, dude. I don't know how he got on stage. Because he's a moron. Well, he does not have not the doesn't seem to be the sharpest tool in the shed, dude. They always bring up slavery. It's a total red herring, non sequitur. It has nothing to do with the topic. Yeah, they can't win on the merits, so they only make personal attacks. Yeah, they say, dude, I can't defeat this person when it comes to a discussion. So I'm just going to try to slander their character and make people dislike them. And then maybe the person is like rightfully offended that their interlocutor is supposed to be talking about whether feminism is good for women and children. He comes in, he starts talking about your entire life. Apparently, Rachel is on trial here on the witness stand for her entire life. That's not fair. That's not fair on anybody. It's not fair in a court of law either. You have to make things relevant to the topic. Dunning-Kruger maxing 1,000%. Yeah, it's like this the principle that because you're familiar with a topic, you have some familiarity, you think that you're qualified to speak on this thing, right? Like, you're not. Familiarity is not expertise, people. They conflate these things all the time. $5 from Sincere Hypocrite. Thank you for the super chat. I've said this many times before. Atheists will refuse to ever affirm a positive claim. Then that would mean they have to hold a position. Yeah, these people are slippery. They have no actual position. This is like a postmodern way of thinking, right? This is how Marxists and communists think. They're like, look, I have no good alternative for you, but I know it's wrong. So that's not helpful. So you're spot on there, Sincere Hypocrite. I think a lot of people form their worldview on things that they don't like. This is why, like I say, stop telling me what you don't believe. Stop telling me what you don't believe in. What do you believe? Right? Like, I'm not interested in this. It's like a very pseudo-intellectual position to go in and just start critiquing without having any alternative. It just shows that you haven't actually fully thought through these issues, right? Thank you for the donation.
That's Gnostic. That's
what?
That's Gnosticism.
It's nasty.
That's nasty. It's nasty. Thanks, man. Okay. That was literally the worst rebuttal. Yeah. It's so bad. In fact, I'm just gonna do -1. I don't think this guy is. What is he doing on stage, dude? It's horrible.
For her 5-minute rebuttal, got the timer set for you, Rachel. The floor is all yours.
So what you just heard was amateur hour of somebody who does not know how to make an argument, somebody who
Accurate.
doesn't know what a debate is or how to
Ad hominem
have a
attacks.
debate. You can't
Ad hominem
interrupt. You
attacks.
can't. No.
Yeah, go ahead.
Again, amateur hour. This is the person who did the ad hominem attacks. He didn't present an argument. He just said, "What about you?" He used a tu quoque fallacy. What about you, though? This debate has nothing to do with my life or your life or
Yes,
my
it does.
personal life or your personal life.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sean, you, Brian.
Staggering lack of self-control.
Yeah, I love that he's getting like scolded by the moderator. That's good, honestly. It's good that that's what the moderator is there for, right? So he's like, "Hey, she didn't talk during your rebuttal. You shut up, sit there, and behave." This guy's faded, dude.
So again, another fallacy, a straw man fallacy. My argument was not that I can tell women what to do. My whole entire opening was just explaining what has happened to society in general, going over data. There was no condemnation of working mothers. There was no condemnation of women who need to leave abusive relationships like I did. There was no, we need to go back to slavery, which was 50 years ago, I guess. Again, not sure how this person is employed in media. But all that aside, he did not address any of the arguments I made, which were that actually, what he did was support my arguments by saying, yeah, when families are broken up, it's bad for kids. When we see divorce, rampant divorce, children raised in single household families, it's bad for kids. Yes, it is. Now, if everyone was only getting divorced in instances of abuse or abandonment, we would see divorce rates much closer to numbers that we had prior to no fault. You would see, if you look at surveys, the reasons for divorce, things like legitimate physical abuse are very far down on the list. They're usually like 4th or 5th. The number one reason is irreconcilable differences. I fell out of love. Mr. Johnson down the street makes me feel sexy. I need to find myself. And the kids are resilient and they'll get over it. What I'm against is this frivolous breaking down of families to chase personal happiness. The kids don't get over it. We have massive studies on what happens to children after divorce. And as Brian brilliantly laid out, it's very bad for kids. We see the worst outcomes for children coming from broken homes. So the argument is not no one can get divorced. The argument is divorce should only be permitted for very good reasons. That was the historic norm for the church. I'm not saying that women can't work outside the home ever. I'm saying that mothers already have a full-time job and that pushing them to work outside the home, creating the two-income trap that's been laid for us by feminism reduced women's choices. It didn't give us more choices. There was never a time when women were not allowed to work. It just wasn't the norm because women already had a full-time job, especially prior to the birth control pill in 1965, when most women had an average of 3 to 7 kids, depending on what time frame you're looking at. That's a full-time job. It didn't make sense to send women out to do men's jobs. It didn't make any sense to push them outside the home and force them to work. And now women like me who want to stay home struggle and find that they can't and find that they have to work when all they really want to do is be at home raising their own children, and they're forced to try to outsource that, which is why most women only have 1 or 2 children anymore. You can't afford to put 5 kids in daycare. So we have very small families, we have lower birth rates, and we have unhappier women who are now trapped in a different set of bad circumstances with abusive cohabitating partners instead of a husband who loves them and takes care of them. We're trapped in this two-income trap. We have women who are trying to juggle everything and balance everything and are struggling to do that, and they're reporting higher levels of anxiety and depression. I'm not here to condemn women. Brian's here to condemn me personally, apparently, which is the actual ad hom argument. If he had an actual argument rather than just pointing at me, that would be fine. But if all he's here to do is say, well, but you got divorced because you were in an abusive marriage, that's actually not an argument. It supports my argument that you should be able to get out of abusive marriages, and you were. You were actually able to get out of abusive marriages prior to no fault. No fault means you don't need a reason, and the other party does not have to agree. And that's where I think that we went wrong.
Thank you very much for that rebuttal from Rachel.
Okay, so again, from Rachel, very substantive, very efficient, good use of time. She's like textbook. You know, this is, she's like hitting all the basics, which is important, right? Every expert in any field is an expert in the basics. So she started off with some like rhetorical ad homs, which is like, she's allowed to do that. There's no rule that says you can't do that. So Brian is an amateur. Brian's rebuttal was fallacious, which it was. Brian's rebuttal wasn't even relevant to the topic at issue, which, you know, we already pointed that out. She's saying I didn't condemn anyone or suggest bringing slavery back. So again, irrelevance and just like your red herring. In fact, this is, I think, like a good turnaround to be like, you guys just heard it. This man is an idiot. In fact, he only supported my arguments with his rebuttal. Said divorce, a little more substance here. That divorce data shows that people are using frivolous justifications to tear apart their families these days. Just arbitrary. She says, I agree with Brian that broken homes are bad for kids. and that Brian, in fact, agrees with her. Right? She brought up the 2 income trap, which I think is a very strong point. Mom and housewife is a full-time job. Daycare is unaffordable. It's like a bunch of facts. Brian hasn't made a substantive argument on whether feminism is good. He's just criticized me personally. So yeah, basically Brian, I don't know if he just doesn't get it or if he's like trolling us, or if he's just like dumb. Like, God forgive me. But like, this is horrible from Brian Shapiro. He is a horrendous debater, like very, very bad. But yeah, I think Rachel, I'll give her another 9 out of 10. That's just textbook. Like, she's doing everything right here. It's pointing out that Brian isn't actually making substantive arguments, that it's not actually on the topic. So, yeah, in textbook, just she's doing everything correctly. What's up, Pufferfish? Good to see you. Liberals, you can't tell people what to do. Also, liberals, I'm going to cancel people who don't do what I want them to do. That's exactly what Brian is saying. It's pretty crazy. Can we officially dub Rachel the Ortho Queen? I don't see why not, dude. She's done a lot for us, right? I mean, she's like supported Jim Bob. She's been in my stream. She super chatted my stream a few times. She super chatted Cleve's stream. Yeah, Rachel's great. He's just that low IQ, Alex. It pains me to believe that, man. Like, it's painful, right? Like, Jamie is the Ortho Queen. Oh, we have a contender up for the title. Is Nikolai Korea here? Alex, great cover. Thank you. What's up, Nikolai? Good to see you, man. He has insane confidence and is just that delusional. I think, like, literally just write down what he's saying and you'll see that, like, he's kind of an idiot. Like, I hear that Rachel even knows Andrew. I hear that she thinks he's hot. I think that was kind of funny beforehand, too. If you guys are on Twitter, Jay is the Ortho Queen. If you guys were on Twitter, you saw that Brian was saying it's disgusting how much Rachel thinks her husband is attractive. It's disgusting how much she supports her husband. So that's why, like, in the opening, Rachel was like, I see my husband in the front row. He's so good looking. Just like trying to trigger him, whatever. So she supports her husband, dude. That's what she's supposed to do. Like, how are you going to dog on her for that? This is so weird. Right. Jay's definitely the Ortho Queen. Well, he's the BIPOC E-Diva, undisputed champion of BIPOC intersectional E-Diva. Yeah. Okay. Let's try to power through this so we can get to the Jay Kiriakou thing.
So we're going into the 40-minute Crossfire.
Oh, God.
Open dialogue. I'm going to trust you guys, but if there are interruptions, I do have to jump in and break it into 90-second responses. So handing it off to you. The floor is yours.
Well, first of all, for somebody that wants to stay home, you're certainly out a lot debating people. So I really don't understand that argument.
Well, are you aware of the, well, let me address that, since this is the back and forth.
Can I just finish?
This is the back and forth.
I know, but that was like 10 seconds.
But you already got it wrong. So my children are.
You got everything wrong.
My children are grown. No, I got everything right.
I know they're grown.
They're grown up and out of the house.
Can I just finish?
So I've never said that women can't leave the house when their kids have grown up and left, and that they can't.
Do you believe women should be allowed to vote?
Do you think women are chained to the kitchen?
I'm asking you a question. Do you think women should be allowed to vote?
I think it would be better if women and many other groups didn't vote. I would categorize women as one of the groups that should not.
Is there any other demo that shouldn't be allowed to vote, or is it just?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of different ways that you could limit suffrage that would make everything a lot more fair and a lot more efficient. I think that if you're taking more from the system than you get, so that would be a great way to limit suffrage. You'd have to be a net zero taxpayer. You can't be taking more than you're getting. So if you're getting more in SNAP benefits and welfare,
so voting should be based on how much you pay in taxes, or if you pay
it should
taxes?
be based on whether you are contributing to the system or not. If you're taking more than you're contributing, no, you shouldn't be having a voice in governance. You should also have to take a civics test proving that you have some rudimentary understanding of how our government works.
A lot of people wouldn't vote for Donald Trump if that was the case. But anyway, so you don't think that women should be allowed to vote? You don't think women should be allowed to vote? At least if they're.
Would you like me to explain why?
No. Do you know why the birth rate is so low?
No, he doesn't want me to explain.
Well,
I will anyway.
Dude, this is the same thing that Protestants will do, where it's like they say, "Mary saves us." They pray, "Mary, please save us." And then they just look at the camera and they're like, isn't that so shocking? It's like the same thing that Brian's doing. He's like, so you think women shouldn't be allowed to vote? And she's like, yeah. And then he's just like there's no argument there at all. It's just stupid. Yeah, it's just pearl clutching. Yeah, insufferable. Every time Brian speaks, I just hear wah. He's just a big baby, dude. Bring back voting where you had to volunteer for the civic duties. Yeah. Absolutely scathing insult for prots. They do that, man. Like there's so many where like, like Gavin Ortland will be like, they bow to icons. They kiss the icons. And like that's their whole argument. Like this is Brian is doing the same thing, dude. I'm telling you, Protestants are like in the Christianity world, Protestants are liberals, dude. They do this, they argue the same way, they have the same methodology, like they approach things with the same mentality. It's very weird, dude. Like coexist with the Baptists and the Lutherans and the Methodists and the Pentecostals and the Presbyterians and the Anglicans. You can all coexist. But those Roman Catholics, those Orthodox, the real conservatives in Christianity, right? The real conservatives, the ones that want to actually conserve something, the Orthodox. It's crazy. Yeah, and the number one most common argument all these groups argue is incredulity. Yeah, dude. Yes. I went to church. I heard them say, Holy Theotokos, save us. That's their whole argument. It's crazy, dude. Outside the Christianity world, they are also liberals, Alex. You haven't seen... Oh, I saw what the connections Jay was making with like the co-workers of Gavin. Was that Ray guy and Gavin's father? Which some people will be like, Jay, why are you bringing his family or his father into it? And it's like, he's not. His father put himself out there, right? So like the rule is keep people's families out of it unless their family consists of other public people. But it's like so obvious, right? I can't believe I have to tell people this. Dr. Russell Moore, yeah, they were weird, dude. He's a weirdo. Like Skittles stuff, and it's weird. So, okay, what other trash Brian Shapiro has to say here?
I find it interesting that you want to take away one of the most fundamental rights of a woman.
Oh, dude, I forgot a super chat. This is bad. I'm failing at monetizing you people. It should be like a quote, like somebody should make a graphic, some picture of Ruslan. How do I monetize these people? Ruslan 2020. Well, it was like 5 years ago. Ruslan 2020. Brian acts more like he's having a fight with his girlfriend than having a debate. Highly emotional. Yeah, but he's the girlfriend. Because he's not actually making any coherent arguments. He didn't put forth any reasons. Like the one substantive reason that he did put out there, which is that I don't want kids to be in single mother homes either. Well, that works against his position because Rachel is saying, well, this no-fault divorce, which leads to single-parent homes, is a downstream effect of feminism. So, yeah, I agree. Very emotional. He's not actually providing anything substantive for anyone to latch onto, right? You just go through and like bullet point what they're saying, right? Because it's hard because when they go through many facts, it's hard to sometimes keep track of exactly what points they're making. But if you write it down, it becomes like that much more obvious, right? So thank you for the donation, man.
What is my bank account going to look like in the next 2 to 3 years? I need 7 figures. I need 7 figures.
I need. I just love that, dude. I need. It's crazy, dude. $5 from Boogie Whistle. Consider me monetized. Thanks. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep on doing the Ruslan one as long as you guys keep on making the jokes.
What is my bank account going to look like in the next 2 to 3 years? I need 7 figures. I need 7 figures.
I need. Thank you for the donations, guys. Appreciate it. Y'all are the best. We can keep breaking down debates, providing educational content for everybody, how to communicate, make points, and bring Orthodox Christianity to a few people. That was like a discussion on X recently. Somebody was trying to tell me Sworn needs 8 figure. How am I gonna pass Ruslan with it? I need 8 figure. If he's gonna have 7, I need 8. I need 8, dog. I need. Someone needs to auto-tune that Ruslan clip. It sounds like it can kind of be a banger, dude. Maybe Ruslan could monetize it, or he'd copyright strike you. Like, what's his face? Again, dude, I have golden handcuffs. You guys have me hostage here.
What is my bank account going to look like in the next 2 to 3 years? I need 7 figures. I need 7 figures.
Thanks for the $10, dude. Appreciate it.
Anathema, eh?
We need to auto-tune that Ruslan clip, turn it into a song. You guys heard in the chat. You guys heard it. Somebody do it. Somebody do it. I'll feature it on my stream.
What is my bank account going to look like in the next 2 to 3 years? I need 7 figures. I need 7 figures.
Thanks for the donation. Appreciate it. Alex, you're grifting off donations, dog. The heck. I've always just tried to be polite and nice to everybody. Now people accuse me of being a grifter. It's crazy. Give me this. Give me that. Give me this. Give me that. Give me. Yeah. We should ban feminists from owning property. Well, I mean, we should make them live by their own standards, and they should all hold it in common, right? Yeah. Ashtray got 7 figures if you can't count after the decimal. Nice. Okay. Let's get back to it. It's utter stupidity we're hearing from Brian.
Why?
No, do you know why the birth rate is so low?
No, he doesn't want me to explain.
Well,
I will anyway.
I find it interesting that you want to take away one of the most fundamental rights of a woman, which is being able to vote. By the way, women are, as I think you're aware, bringing children into this world.
Not enough.
Well, yeah. Why? Why is that? What's the number one reason why women aren't bringing children in?
Do you want to know like the actual correlate?
No, I want to know the
declining?
polls of the last 2 years, and women have asked, because I have the studies right in front of me right here. What is the number one reason, Rachel, why women aren't bringing kids into this world in the last 2 years? Do you know the reason for
I
that?
can tell you what the actual data says. The data says that the number one correlate to declining birth rates around the world in every culture, regardless of income or religion, is women's access to higher education and pushing them into
Not true.
workforce.
So according to the Johns
Yes, it
Hopkins
is
School
true.
of Public Health, which have been polled for the last 2 years, they've done it 8 times. The Johns Hopkins School of Public Health, I'll take their word over yours. They say the number one reason why women don't want to bring children into the world is something called the economy, Rachel.
Okay, but Rachel's whole point is that the 2 income trap is what kind of tanked the economy to begin with. So this doesn't help. The economy is a cope, yeah. Pay attention to what she says exactly about atheism here. Oh, Evo Myths Busted has been waiting for this moment. All right. He just sucks so much. He's a really bad debater, dude. Like the worst. He might be the worst on YouTube.
Now let's talk a little bit about the economy.
What's that?
Quick. Hold on. Let's talk a little bit about
Oh,
that.
yes.
Let's talk a little bit about
That's
that.
what I used on my thumbnail, that clip. I watched like up to here. Yeah. Ew, that's that. Like, I think when she was playing that, like, whatever, dumb Valley Girl character, it really started to make Brian look like some abusive, like, maniac, right? So, what's going on with Ridge, guys? Brian will not get any better. Why? Okay. Well, I have mods in the chat. If they're being weird, please take whatever necessary actions. Thank you.
That, Rachel.
Okay.
Why are people losing their medical coverage? Why are people losing their food stamps? Is it because they're just lazy and they don't want to work?
Okay.
You see, because
we're doing another straw man argument
it's a straw
because
man.
What does people losing their food stamps have to do with the freaking topic, dude? Remember this thing? Is feminism good for women and children? You guys remember that? I don't even know what we're talking about now. Why are people losing their food stamps? The economy is so bad. That's why women don't want to have children, because they don't have food stamps. Is that the connection he's making, actually, that women won't have children because they can't get their food stamps because the government won't support them? That's horrible. That's so bad. He's saying that's why we need feminism? That's horrendous, dude. Oop.
historically, everybody has had children during times of
So it's
much,
because of
much
poor
worse
people. You're
poverty.
saying the reason why is because poor people can't bring people into the world.
No, I'm saying
So,
listen very
I'm
carefully and
listening.
try to understand.
I'm listening. I'm listening.
The poor people are the ones having the babies. So the people who have the
So-
resources are opting out because they think their job is more important, because they want to take vacations,
So-
because they want to pay for a second
So when the
vehicle and
people
a
that
bigger
aren't
mortgage.
poor are polled, and they're saying that the reason why they're not having kids is because of the economy.
It's
Are they
because they are
lying?
prioritizing a higher material standard of living. Yes.
So what has changed then in the last?
Materialism.
So
Atheism
what
and
is-
materialism.
Okay, so you think it's
Yes.
atheism?
Well, yeah. Well, feminism is downstream of atheism, right? Or it could be the other way. It could go both ways. It's like a synergistic relationship. He just got cooked. He did. That hat is birth control. Oh, yeah, dude. That hat. What, dude? First of all, it's just not polite to wear a hat. Like, call me a grandpa or something. I don't know. It's like you're inside having a formal debate. Take off your hat. I mean, unless you're like in character or something. But he's just a guy, right? Feminism is also very heavily occultic and pagan. Yeah, like sacrificing babies and stuff. Yeah. It's downstream of both atheism and Puritan pietism. It's an odd mix, isn't it? Kind of goes back and forth.
You think it's
Atheism and
because they don't
materialism.
believe in God, and
It's
that's the
because
reason why
they're
they're not having children?
prioritizing having stuff
Right.
and having a career over
So,
having
so
a
what should we
family.
do about that? What do you think? Do you think taking away healthcare and
I think what we
food
should
stamps
do about
is the
that,
right
I'll
thing
tell
to
you
do?
what we should do about it is what I'm doing right now, what Andrew does all the time, which is explain why atheism is retarded and why you shouldn't.
Yeah, dude, that's what we're all doing here. Is that like Christianity, real Orthodox Christianity, the church that Christ started, and the tradition preserved in there? That's the answer to all of these things, right? Sup? What's up, Ben? How you doing, man? Good to see you. If you want to jump in, I'll send you the link. So we're going to talk about after I'm done reviewing this, I was going to open up the calls and maybe go through the Kyriakou thing. It's in your Twitter DMs. Guys, Shane Paisios sent me a graphic. I'm going to have to share this with you guys real quick. Retorted. Retorted. Dude, I can't believe that. Like, wouldn't you come out right away and be like, look, there's this clip that's been circulating from a few years ago. I'm a different person from then, and like come up with some reason. These people like don't even deny it. That's my problem. Is like, dude, at least come out and like deny it. Like they just don't address any of these things. I can't tonight. My jaw's messed up. I got elbowed at jujitsu. Didn't know you signed up for jujitsu Muay Thai. Rip. Yeah, dude. No, he's just gonna ignore this stuff, man. It's weird. These people are. I don't get it. People online, like I have not been affected by this, thank God. I've only not even been doing this stuff for a year, right? Like people online are not normal people, dude. People online are weird. Like they're not the same as people that you meet in the real world. Like that's why I like Jay and Ben and Ben Luigi and like these guys so much. Like they're just normal people. Is he actually? Ben, are you almost purple belt? In a 1v1, Ben could probably put each ortho bro to sleep. It's pretty crazy. Oh, dude, we got super chats, and John Mondragon said we need an Alex Cringecore song. Dr. Evo, I would not be opposed. $2 from Stand Up and Paddle Animal Rescue. Can Shapiro actually be real? Sadly, yes. Thank you for the $2. Praying that you dog walk the unitard today. It's tomorrow. Maybe depending on where you. Oh, you're in Australia. It might be today for you. I don't know. Thank you, bro. I will do my best. So, yeah, my best has gotten me this far so far, and I get it's a complicated topic. It's a very complex topic, but I think there's people have been missing the forest for the trees, and they're talking about this like all this philosophy and attributes and properties, but they're like missing what's like right in front of their face, dude. $10 from Colton Beltran. Thank you. Hey, Ben, how many dollars to get you wearing a hat like Brian's? Dude, you probably couldn't pay Cleve enough to be. Oh, I can think of a price, and I will, Cleve, I'm going to volunteer you for this. If, let's say by May 8th, if you can get him to 20K subs by May 8th. Never. All right, never mind. I'll give you dollars not to. Never. All right, guys, I cannot volunteer him. But let's go. That's funny, dude. I'm dying. It's pretty funny. Also, what's Brian hiding under there? Like a bowling ball? Like, there's probably sparkles under the lights in there. It's probably why he has the hat on, because he's got like some reflectors. It's just like one giant mirror. It just reflects the light right back into the camera. Yeah, but Jesus said he and the Father are one, Alex. One what? One what? Right? Do you say that the emperor and the image of the emperor? Do you not say that? Total Unitarian victory. Correct, dude. Yeah, I think a lot of Mike's arguments, I don't know if he has good ones for Unitarianism. I don't think he has good ones for Unitarianism. He just has like proposed critiques of Trinitarianism.
Why you shouldn't hold to secular materialist worldviews that have no grounding, that have no fundamental basis for morality, and lead you into depths of despair, and lead you into an antinatalist position where you won't even reproduce yourself.
You know what? I think you saying that makes you retarded. So first of all, to use that word and to call
she just what? He's complaining about the word. He just called her retarded, and now he's complaining about the word retarded.
Lead you into depths of despair, and lead you into an antinatalist position where you won't even reproduce yourself.
You know what? I think you saying that makes you retarded. So first of all, to use that word and to call it's not cool for her to use that word. To say that just because we don't believe.
Dude, no way this guy is real and not trolling, dude. No way. Dude, is this guy serious? Ubi started BJJ. That's scary. Ubi's going to be a black belt in like a year. That guy's raw IQ is just off the charts, man. He's super smart. You're a hypocrite. Okay, Alex. Yes, I have. Dude, one time I was working for my mentor in my first year of litigation, 77-year-old Jewish lawyer, right? It's like always yapping sharp, dude. Like the smartest 77-year-old ever that I've heard in my life ever. Yeah, I've never met somebody that sharp at that age. And their persuasion for them, it was like magic powers. It's like pretty crazy, dude. But one time I got him. I impeached him one time with a prior inconsistent statement he made. And his response to me was, so I contradict myself. So what? And then he kind of got me because I was like, you're inconsistent. You're not supposed to contradict yourself. And he's like, but I'm your boss. So it was stick, wasn't it, Alex? Yep. It was stick. You're right. Somehow he is perfectly awful. There is not a single redeeming quality about him or an issue he's not fully indoctrinated by. Is he the most self-absorbed person ever? AI, mentally ill, performance. a very artistic comment there. Stand up and paddle animal rescue. Thank you for the $10. Yeah, it's pretty shocking how blind he can be. You know, it's maybe this is like First Corinthians, where like the foolishness of God is wiser than the wisdom of men, right? Thank you for the $10. Appreciate it, man.
That's amazing.
That's amazing.
In what you believe, that people are retarded.
Bro, that's retarded.
Okay, good. So let me be very clear, okay? Everybody has the right to believe in what they believe in. Everybody has the right, you can be a Christian, you can be an atheist, to call people retarded because they don't believe in the religion that you believe in, or they don't believe in God.
I know. Oh,
is so beyond absurd and bigoted in nature. It's ridiculous.
Is that what you're saying?
No, I think you are. So
this is like so crazy. No, it's like, you can't call people retarded. I think you are. Like, what? I don't know, dude. This can't be right. Shapiro's closing was terrible, and she ended him with her closing. Can you give me the timestamp for it? Oh, is Father Stephen here? Cleve's life verse is Leviticus 13:4. Okay, well, now I gotta look it up now. Leviticus 13:41. If his head is bare on the forehead, so that he is balding in front, he is clean. What do the notes say here in the NET? So I think this is like the literal Hebrew, right? And if from the front edge of his face, his head is rubbed bare, the rendering balding in front corresponds to the location of the bareness at the beginning of the verse. Ah. The balding in front corresponds to the bare. If his head is bare on the forehead, so that he is balding in front, he is clean. You guys heard it here tonight. Hello, Father Stephen. Good to see you. Father Stephen had an eventful few days, and I can't say any. I'm not saying anything. I'm saying keep your eyes out on the social medias. The social media. The social media. That's already plural. Keep your eyes out on the social media for something special from Father Stephen. What? Oh, I have something special for you, Brother Alan, with the 199 super chat. So why do you cry over Mother Mary on Friday nights?
Do you cry over Mother Mary on Friday nights?
Dude, that whole interview, like everything in that interview, like every 2 minutes you get something else for the soundboard. That interview is so crazy, dude.
Do you cry over Mother Mary on Friday nights?
$2 from Anthony G. Montague. Hey, thank you. Aspire to such levels of delusion. Imagine how happy he must be. Or it's ignorant and blissful, right? Isn't that the thing? Thank you for the $2. Membership from Zach. Thank you for the membership. And Arakota, $5. How is Brian Shapiro more excruciating to listen to than Ben Shapiro? Well, because I think Ben Shapiro, although he argues for bad things, he understands argumentation and rhetoric and thinking, while Brian Shapiro doesn't know any of those things.
That's amazing.
Thanks for the donations and the membership, guys. Appreciate it very much. Haircut for the debate and for life. Yeah. What's the timestamp for the closings? By the way, I don't want to hear this. I'm gonna lose it, dude. Herman Nelson from Facebook. What a legend. Thank you, dude. What are the timestamps for the closings? Can somebody tell me? I would become a member, but I spent all my money on Brian Shapiro hats. Oh, no. But that can't be true, dude. You always have good things to say. If you put on the hat, you're going to nerf yourself. Can't do it, dude. Defending Ben Shapiro, I'm not. I'm just saying he's the things he's a good art debater. Is the things that he debates for are dumb and wrong most of the time. Closing's at 120. All right, thank you. 120. Bet. Amazing. John Kell says 117. All right, let's move on.
Question is,
Oh, wow. Yeah, I think that's what I want. Yeah.
I don't want women to suffer. I'm trying to understand what the question is. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I'm very aware that everybody in this room disagrees.
Oh, wait. Do you think there's something cool at 117? Is that why you said 117? Alex, we will continuously monetize you. Don't worry. You will be seven figures in no time. Well, dude, my mindset is I'm just going to try to offer valuable things to you guys because I have some expertise in debating and advocacy, and I've read a lot of books on this stuff. Alex and I are writing a movie, but the chat can't know about it yet. Maybe I shouldn't have put that in a super chat for $4.99, dude. They know about the secret movie. Neil, thank you for the $4.99, dude. Appreciate that. Yeah, guys, look out for the secret movie that Neil and I are working on. It'll be in theaters near you soon. Thanks again, Neil. Caleb V to $21.99. Helping my man make some figures. Well, Ruslan's got to look out, dude.
What is my bank account going to look like in the next 2 to 3 years? I need seven figures. I need seven figures.
Dude, that's just I need seven figures. This gets me every time, dude. I'm pro women suffering. Okay.
I'm trying to understand what the question is.
Oh, wow. Very clever.
Go ahead, sir.
All right. I'm a Hindu, so I.
By the way, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I'm very aware that everybody in this room disagrees with me, but that doesn't stop me from coming here. And
DMs, you said that you were going to sell at least as many tickets as me.
Oh, I'd like to see that DM. I don't remember saying that.
You said, we'll see about that. I think
I never said I was
going to
sell as many tickets as you. I never said that.
So I'm a Hindu.
This is why people don't want to debate you.
All right, we do have the next question.
Go ahead, sir.
I'm a Hindu.
Yep.
I really do believe in like gods and goddesses too. So why do you think mocking other religions is a good thing about
No, I
feminism?
wasn't mocking other. Okay, so give me the statement that I made. Mocking other religions.
So like when you in your own debate, in this debate, you were talking about like she said in her book about like there's women like mocking about like Hindu gods.
Yeah, I was mocking her. I wasn't mocking religion in general. Let me be very clear. I'll clear this up for you. I believe everybody has the right to believe in whatever you want to believe in. You can believe in. My problem with religion in general terms is that too many people like Rachel.
Seriously though, Neil and I are working on something, guys. You guys got to keep your eyes open. You guys remember, like, everybody thinks that Jay calls the shots over here. Really, everybody just does whatever Neil says to do. Neil is the real orthopope, right? You missed where she made him cry. Where'd she make him cry? Getting mocked by a Hindu. He did kind of get mocked by a Hindu, dude. Where did she make him cry? Give me timestamp, dog. I want more Brian Shapiro so we can bully him.
Push their beliefs on other people, and if they don't believe in what she believes in her God, she calls people retarded. I want you to believe in what you want to believe in, and you have that right to believe in. I would never want to take that right away from you. I don't care what religion you guys could believe in the tooth fairy if you want. You have the right to freedom of religion. I would never want to take that away from you, sir. I've been very clear on that.
I think it's going to be our last question we can take.
Mr. Shapiro and Ms. Wilson, can you each say something kind to each other?
That's the best question. Go ahead, Rachel, you first.
I decline.
Yeah. Well, here's what I would say.
The thing is, the guy asks a yes or no question, right? So can you say something nice about each other? You could just say yes and then end it there, right? Closing statements after the Q&A is the best part. All right. We'll get there.
And I'm not surprised she would say that. Because before we were in the green room.
We're asking for something kind.
I know. Before we were in the green room, I said, hey, I'd love to shake their hands. I'm happy, even though obviously we have our personal grievances, which I think both of us would agree. I was happy to shake their hands and be professional. I said, hey, have them come in. Love to say hello to them and be kind. They declined. I was trying to be professional. But I will say this. You're an opinion.
Just to clarify, Rachel wasn't here yet.
Okay, well, whatever. Andrew was here. You said he was in the other room, right?
Andrew was here.
Okay, and I said they're both welcome to come in, and I'm happy to say hello to them.
What's your nice thing you want to say about Rachel?
I'd have to think about this. Give me 10 seconds here.
I owe nothing and no respect to a person who's going to publicly try to accuse me of believing things I don't believe, saying things I don't say, and being promiscuous, which I've never been in my life.
Okay. So
let's not pretend there's a pretense of professional decorum here, because
what was
there's
the
just
question?
not.
Was the question say something nice about one another or attack?
That's a good point from Rachel.
Something nice about each other.
Yeah.
Nope.
Okay, we'll
I
go to the next
decline.
question.
I decline.
Good.
Actually, that is all we have for Q&A. I do want to make sure that we get the closings in, so we do actually have to jump into the closings. These are 3-minute time sections. I've got the timer set for you. And Brian.
You want me to go first again?
Yes. In each case, you'll be going first. The floor is all yours, Brian.
Okay. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I do a lot of shows that are way far to the right. I'm happy to do them, regardless of whether people agree or disagree. But I'm going to talk about something now very serious. And it's an emotional thing. And when I was doing debate prep for this debate, I learned.
He prepped. Got a question from Herman Nelson, unrelated to the video, but you inspired me to read through more patristic writings. I got through On the Incarnation and found just how anti-patristic PSA is. That's right. Not only is it anti-patristic, it's anti-biblical, and it doesn't make sense. So I like that. You are on the right track, man. You should probably read On the Holy Spirit by St. Basil the Great. And of course, the apostolic fathers, like the JB Lightfoot set has like everything in there. The Didache, the Shepherd of Hermas, the Epistles of Ignatius. They're not like theological treatises. Also, I got like really into Cyprian at one point. He's a really useful patristic witness to a lot of things. He quotes to Revelation, the Apocalypse, as scripture, quotes the Sirach as scripture, and that's like in the mid 200s, right? So Cyprian is a good church father.
Learned of a horrible story that I am very sad to hear, that you had lost your 10-year-old son in a car accident, and my condolences to your family. It's awful. And unfortunately, we have something like that in common, Rachel, and I am truly sorry that happened to you. I wouldn't wish that upon anybody. When I was 12.
This is weird. What does this have to do with the debate, dude? It's so gross what he does in his closing here. Yeah, I agree, Rebecca. This is weird. Like this debate is about whether feminism is good or bad for women and children. Is feminism good for women and children? What is he talking about? I don't think this guy knows what. Is his brain just so fried off of substances that he can't even like focus for 2 seconds? This man in rehab, dude.
My whole family got into a very serious car accident. I lost my grandmother. It's the reason why my sister passed away a few years ago, because of her injuries. And I learned at a very young age.
Dude, is this debate time or is this therapy session, dude? What's wrong? What's wrong with these people? This is debate time, dude. This is combat. It's time to fight. Why are you crying? This is so weird, dude. Like, who are these people? Like, these are not normal people. I'm telling you guys, like, that's the ortho bros are like the most down to earth, like normal people I've ever told. Oh, dude, all these other people are weird, dude. Okay, Marco is not. I think he's like maybe almost an honorary ortho bro. I think he's getting there. He's a normal person. There are like normal people here. Just let him cry. All right, my bad. Dude, these people are not normal. I'm telling you, they're like mental.
My whole family got into a very serious car accident. I lost my grandmother. It's the reason why my sister passed away a few years ago, because of her injuries. And I learned at a very young age how precious life is. What does this have to do with feminism? Life is really short. And again, I say again, how sorry I am that your family had to go through that. It's horrible. And the reason why I talk about how short life is, I don't want to tell you guys what to do. I don't want to tell you guys that you can't vote because you're poor. I don't want to tell you guys that you can't be in the workplace. If you want to be a doctor or a lawyer or a stay-at-home mom with kids, I think that's all great. I don't want to tell you what to do. When I was 14 years old, my dad introduced me to 2 radio hosts, Howard Stern and Don Imus. I didn't really like Don Imus very much. I said, Dad, I want to be like that. I want to be on the radio one day. And my family supported me. And I had to work really fucking hard, pardon my French, to get to where I am, to be able to even do something like this, to be able to go on Pierce Morgan, to be able to do those things. And I'm very humbled by that. But it wasn't because I'm a guy. It wasn't because I'm a male. It's because I worked my ass off, which I'm still doing every day. And if a woman listens to their dad growing up and they want to be a radio host, or they want to be a doctor or a nurse, or maybe they're poor, but they're still involved in politics and they want to vote, I say, do what makes you happy. Live your life. Don't listen to somebody, no matter what religion they are or who they are, tell you what to do with your life. I'm doing what I'm doing now because I worked hard. It has nothing to do with my gender or because I'm a woman. We all have tragedies in life, and I'm sorry for yours. And I wish we didn't have that in common because it's awful. Don't let other people tell you what to do. I know there's a lot of people in this crowd that probably disagree with a lot of what I said today. And listen, that's okay. We have the freedom to agree or disagree with people. That's what makes this country great. But we're all human beings. I'm not perfect. I make plenty of mistakes. I've made plenty of mistakes in my life, and I probably said things in my life that I regret, but I own it. And so thank you all for being here. 5 seconds. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, James. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. I appreciate it. And I wouldn't have it any other way. I love having good debates, and I appreciate all you guys being here. Thank you very much.
We could go over to Rachel for her.
That was the weirdest closing statement I have heard ever in my life. We got $5 from Llamafish7777. Weaponized compassion, complete with crocodile tears. Were there tears, or was he just going, "My grandma died at 97 years old"? Like, I don't know. Hold on. Maybe. I don't see any tears, dude. I don't see them. But yes, it is weaponized. That's true. Tearjerker fallacy. Stop crying. Dude, we should make a rule. If you cry, you lose. Not allowed to cry in debates. Okay. It's like, imagine you go into a UFC fight or like a boxing match and like you tag the other guy and he starts crying. Like, what? So weird. Marco, I said almost honorary, bro. Almost honorary. $5 from Alex Jag. I mean, if you saw us crash out on Jesse Lee Peterson, this is kind of expected. I did not see that, so maybe that's why. Maybe that's why I'm surprised by this. $2 from Likeich. Society tells people what to do all the time, dude. Yes. Yeah, I think that was like a point we made earlier. Is that in the beginning, he's like, people should be able to do whatever they want without Bible thumpers coming around, like Bible thing, telling them what to do. Why are you telling the Bible thumpers what to do? They're like, there's like it's just one more step of thinking, and they can't take like that one more step. It's just one more step of thinking. That's it, dude. They're like almost there. He whined that Rachel didn't take the coof seriously. Compendium, $2. I mean, isn't that like most of the country after a few weeks? I think it was like after 2 or 3 months when we realized, yeah, this is not actually like, if you're an adult male in your 20s, it's almost worse to get the booster than to get the coof. Right? Thank you for the donations, guys. On my way to 8 figures. Look out, Ruslan. Here I come.
What is my bank account going to look like in the next 2 to 3 years? I need 7 figures. I need 7 figures.
Coming after you, Ruslan. Paste, Alex. Thanks.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. I love having good debates, and I appreciate all you guys being here. Thank you very much.
We could go over to Rachel for her 3-minute closing as well. The floor is yours.
Very disappointing. We had no arguments from Brian whatsoever for why we should believe that feminism has been beneficial for women and children. He wasn't able to provide any data.
That's correct.
Any sort of measurement whatsoever to show that, hey, before feminism, this was what happened, and after feminism, this is what we got.
Correct.
We didn't get any of that. What we got was a whole bunch of logical fallacies and a person who doesn't understand what an argument is or how to debate. I'm going to list them off quickly, but join in the comments on the live stream if you
Correct.
caught more of these than I did. These were just some of the fallacies that we witnessed tonight from Brian. Non sequitur, argument from incredulity, straw man, ad hominem, category error, tu quoque fallacy, appeal to authority, argument ad populum. And on top of all that,
that might be all of them. He might have done every single fallacy in this debate, guys. There's the world record. He did accomplish something. He did all the fallacies in one debate. He did all of them. She forgot his trump card. His grandma. You guys crack me up. Yes, almost honorary. I think. Now I'm doubting what I said.
That. We got moral outrage. We got appeals to your virtue and your emotions. And what we got from Brian ultimately was the best argument against feminism. Because what feminism produces is emotionally incontinent, weak men who can't control themselves, who have violent outbursts, will
It's a masterclass in fallacy maxing. Oh, man. When is the next gaming stream? Ask Cleve. He's the mastermind who put it together. Dude, maybe I should just I have Father Steven on my friends list now on Marvel Rivals. Maybe I should just hop in next time he's on. Dunning-Kruger maxing for sure, dude. Yeah, it's this thing. People think familiarity is the same thing as expertise. And it's not. They are very different things. Life is short. My grandma died. Yeah, like after living a long life. I don't know. Off topic. When FDA was on last, y'all talked about beards and who the patron saint might be. Got to be Saint Maximus the Greek of Russia. Look at his icon. All right, because you donated $5, I will do this.
What is my bank account going to look like in the next 2 to 3 years? I need 7 figures. I need 7 figures.
This is awesome. A Greek monk and scholar. This is pretty awesome. NGL guys. That's beard maxing right there for sure. Thanks for the super chat, dude. I did not know that. Wasn't aware of Saint Maximus the Greek and his beard maxing. You have stopped it at the most savage part. Did I not share it? Oh yeah, I'm just behind, dude. I'm just behind. It's crazy. Mogged. Yeah, Saint Seraphim Rose also. They had a huge beard. We saw after. Yes. Okay. Somebody said I stopped at the most savage part. I'm gonna go back like 10 seconds.
Brian. Non sequitur, argument from incredulity, straw man, ad hominem, category error, tu quoque fallacy, appeal to authority, argument ad populum. And on top of all that,
I'm old.
Moral outrage. We got appeals to your virtue and your emotions. And what we got from Brian ultimately was the best argument against feminism, because what feminism produces is emotionally incontinent, weak men who can't control themselves, who have violent outbursts, will insult you, will be angry and combative, and then try at the end of the debate to bring up your dead child and not even let you get through a debate in a professional manner addressing the topic at hand without crying and bringing up your dead son, who you probably don't want to be thinking about in the closing of a professional debate that you're trying to get through. So when he...
Oh my goodness! She destroyed him. Stop. He's already dead. Oh, what's up, Father Ron? What is up, Father Ron? Good to see you. Flawless victory. Dude, oh my goodness. Just called him out on all of his nonsense. I have to listen to that again. It like built up to it too. That was like excellent delivery. 100 out of 10 closing. 100%. That was such a good delivery. So she's built up to it.
Authority, argument ad populum. And on top of all that, we got moral outrage. We got appeals to your virtue and your emotions. And what we got from Brian ultimately was the best argument against feminism, because what feminism produces is emotionally incontinent, weak men who can't control themselves, who have violent outbursts, will insult you, will be angry and combative, and then try at the end of the debate to bring up your dead child and not even let you get through a debate in a professional manner addressing the topic at hand without crying and bringing up your dead son, who you probably don't want to be thinking about in the closing of a professional debate
What a
that you're trying to get
slaughter,
through.
dude.
So when he says, do what you want, man, follow how you feel. Life's short. Do what you feel like, you know, just follow what you want. Follow your emotions. I would say no, don't do that. Find a strong, virtuous man in your life who knows how to hold boundaries and protect you, who can control his emotions, who can be the force of strength and stability that families need that we don't have anymore. Don't be a male feminist like this. Don't be this emotionally incontinent, just going all over on a tangent, unable to control your thoughts, unable to control your emotions, just spewing and vomiting emotional appeals to people in the middle of a professional debate, bringing up dead children, bringing up your abusive ex-husband. Be the kind of person who can actually handle getting up here and having an argument, making an argument, sticking to the topic, controlling yourself. And the fact that I, a housewife from the Midwest with no college degrees, no professional training, am better able than him to do that just shows you this is the kind of men that feminism has produced, and this is why society is all messed up.
Oh my gosh. She destroyed him. Oh my goodness, dude. That was crazy. Rachel from the top rope. Wow. Somebody said something like you can tell she's a writer. She has a way of stringing words together. Yeah, dude. That explains probably why she was so textbook in her approach. I think writing well requires clear thinking. Because if you can't think about a subject clearly, you're not going to be able to write about it clearly, like not even close. So, yeah, I think that's probably a huge, huge thing. Stop. He's already dead. He should never show his face again. I'm like gobsmacked, honestly. Brian Shapiro, what are you doing, dude? He's a eunuch now. You got to join the Orthodox Church, is what he asked. That's the first step. You go seek to be received in the Orthodox Church. $20 from Flavius. Thank you very much. She didn't cook. She grilled. Love that. She didn't cook. She grilled. Rachel A+. Yeah, dude, that was an utter slaughter, dude. Utter slaughter. What am I gonna pull off the soundboard here?
Amen. Hallelujah.
Do you cry over Mother Mary on Friday nights?
Thanks for the $20, Flavius. Did we just witness an assault? Dude, we witnessed something worse than an assault, man. Dude, I'm shook. I'm shook, dude. It also gives me hope that, like, this is the best guy that the secular world has to offer. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What a slaughter. She scorched. She incinerated. Yeah, dude. Probably peeing himself. Is there anything else happening here, by the way?
With that, I'm going to hand the microphone over to Sean, who is the leader of Uncensored America, who is the host of these debates. I want to say, folks, thank you very much for coming out. Sean, please come on up. I want to give you a chance.
Seems like that's it. Wow. So, that was something of a masterclass. Highest tier debate anathema, eh?
Anathema, eh?
Yeah, he gets cooked in the questions too. Check Discord. I'll do it in a minute. Move to the J Street. All right. No, I'm like paralyzed, dude. Shook. All right, guys, don't. If we watch it here, you still got to go watch it. Can't just stop watching it. Go give Jay the views, like the video. I watched like I think maybe the first 15 minutes or so. It's really interesting, but I think Jay is like the perfect guy to interview John Kiriakou. He's going to ask all the right questions, dude. He's going to ask him all the right questions. He's not going to forget about the ask distinction, right? Prep for your debate with the unicorn. I'm already prepped, dude. Yeah. Did I forgot? I'll share the thing in the chat. If you're on YouTube, putting the link for the call-ins in the chat. If you have to prep the day before a debate, you already messed up. Sorry. I'm telling you right now, you shouldn't be prepping the day before the debate. What's up, Nikolai? How you doing, dude?
How you doing, brother?
Not much. I was just going to react to this Jay interview with John Kiriakou.
Oh yeah, no, John, that was interesting. That was interesting. That debate, though. Oh my gosh.
See, I like literally, my brain feels like all the blood has like is drained from.
Well, you saw his engagement with Jay, right? You saw his like pseudo debate with Jay.
Yeah, Jay was just like laughing at him the whole time.
It was. I mean, I knew it
But
was
I
gonna be
didn't know that he
bad.
was this low tier, dude. Like that, this was
Nah.
really bad. And he was like, as I was doing debate prep, and I was like, "You prepped?
What prep?
You prepped? that was with prep."
he could have typed on Grok and said, "Give me debate points
that
in
are
support of
pro-feminism."
feminism." And he would have had a
Would've
more
done better.
coherent. It would have been better.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't. Yeah, he didn't prep at all. That was embarrassing. Embarrassing display.
Yeah. How did you're all recovered from your surgery?
Yeah, completely. 100% recovered. I feel great. So no longer have the slur. So
Nice.
that's good.
Cool. All right, we're gonna pull up Kokiru. What's up, Kokiru? How you doing?
Hey, how y'all doing?
I'm recovering after what I just witnessed.
I don't blame you. I think everybody is.
What's up?
But yeah, I had kind of two questions about like some Protestant entailments, and I don't know what they would say with them. But like with their idea of glorification, since they don't have essence energy distinction, so
it's in an instant. It's just magic spell.
Yeah, it's just all and done, and like in the scriptures it says that you're like made in the image of God, and that you're refined like fire. And if you take that on, that's like, okay, well, silver is like a reflection. You're supposed to look just like that. Is that not to some degree apotheosis in Protestant theology?
Apotheosis is when you become actually God.
But I'm like, but where would their distinction be derived from, unless if they're just saying we're totally depraved like Baptists?
Wait, can you restate that again?
So
they become glorified in a moment. Boom.
Yeah, glorified in a moment, done.
They're small g gods.
And if they're being glorified in a moment to be like the angels or to be like Christ, and they don't have this essence energy distinction, where's their
you're saying that they're partaking in the essence?
Yeah, where's their distinction for it not to be apotheosis?
You know what I think they would say? I think they would just say something like, "Who are you, man, to question God?"
There you go.
I literally
something that you can do to bring up to them is that yes, essence energy distinction is really important, but there's something even more like fundamental that they're missing, is that their eschatology gets really impacted by that view. It's like, oh, you're glorified and that's it.
Yeah.
Whereas with the Orthodox views, it's foundationally and fundamentally different. We believe in going from glory to glory, as the scriptures say, right? So the eschaton is not a static, like this static experience.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, and I think that that is something that can actually help kind of break the thinking on that, is saying, well, what, you think we're just in like this perpetual state of stasis? And of course they'll say, well, I guess no, because then there is no existence in a sense. Essentially, you cease to exist if you're in stasis, right? If
Yeah.
you're in stasis, you're not experiencing. If you don't have experience, then what are you? There is no subject experiencing anything, right? You've become an object, right? An object in space. And so I think that's a really good way to kind of tackle it and say that's why we have the essence energy distinction. Then you can drag them through that. But I think just starting with essence energies, they'll be like, well, that sounds Hindu, right?
I don't mean to bring that up with any Protestants. I'm just wondering if the logical entailment of that view is then apotheosis. But what you're saying,
or they would just say that it's some created divinity that you're receiving, which Palamas's argument is, how can a created thing divinize you? Now you actually are a polytheist because you believe in a created divinity and an uncreated divinity. Jay brought this up in his debate with Tim Gordon, but it didn't get addressed really. But I think you're right. They don't have like a mechanism, so.
That's also a good point about like you just kind of if it was just static one and done like situation, when you kind of lose personhood as well as an individual.
Well, you're dead. If you're just totally static forever, that's not something that's alive. You're like a rock.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
And then,
but this is something sorry to interrupt, but I asked Muslims this question too. It's like, look, how does God get his message to Muhammad? Well, through an angel. Okay, why can't can God just condescend down to the level of a man? They say, no, absolutely not, because then our God condescended down to the level of a man, right? So then they would have to concede at that point that something like the incarnation is possible. Then I asked them after, well, then can he condescend to the level of an angel or something? No, if he can't condescend to the level of a man, then he can't condescend to the level of an angel either. Then how does he tell anybody anything? They have no essence energies distinction. He can't condescend from wherever he's at. Like,
that's a great point, because the whole entire thing about they're sending an angel to deliver this message
is that God couldn't do it.
Why? Yeah. Why would he be able to do that in the first place?
Doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
Well, there's all sorts of problems with that. There's all sorts of problems with that too, because you have to think like it's completely just like performative. Like a lot of things in their paradigm, it becomes just completely performative. Like God's just he's already like, again, Alex has made this point, and I really like when he mentioned this, because I've adopted this terminology too: salvation by decree. Right? A lot of them hold by that. Well,
they do. Yeah.
If it's all by decree, then God's like giving us choices or like contingencies that he does, like prophetic contingencies that he has throughout the scriptures. They're all performative. Like, what's the point of Job? From a Protestant perspective, I could never figure out what the point of Job was.
You're right.
It just made it seem like God was this weird, vindictive, like, person who just liked to play around with these like little toy soldiers he created. It was a very weird story from especially a Calvinist, since that's what I was. So that's what I would say.
I got you. And then I guess the other question, which this is something that I didn't really question as a Protestant because I didn't really know too much theology, but with the whole entire idea of like imputed righteousness or double imputed righteousness, if what God or Christ sees when he looks at you was to be Christ, why does any Protestant prayer not work in that paradigm? Because in the scriptures it says that
legally he's Christ.
Like whenever the righteous pray, that this is going to end up happening, basically, or you do it without any doubting, so on and so forth. And so if that righteousness is imputed to you, why would your prayer then not be answered as a Protestant all the time?
It's a good point. Because aren't the prayers of a righteous man effective, like Elijah when he prayed and the rain stopped?
So
that's a good point, honestly.
Like I don't know how to work that into a conversation with any Protestant, but like it, because what's I guess I would have to learn more, because I'm still a catechumen, would be what's the Orthodox position on that, and then it's obviously you're partaking of the y'all have to tell me, but yeah.
The what?
Because I'm still a catechumen, so I don't really know the Orthodox position well to be able to articulate that to anybody. But yeah, I guess that'd be it for me.
We participate in the energies.
There we go. That's the words.
Yeah. That's true.
All right. Well, thank y'all for having me on and for all y'all are doing. You have been very helpful in helping break down walls, I guess, that like I had coming into the church for sure, with like icons and stuff. So keep up the good work with that for sure.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Thanks for calling in, man. Yeah, I think for a lot of people, it's like icons and intercession of the saints are like, I could never join this church because this thing is like so obviously against the Bible. And it's actually the opposite, dude. It's all over Second Temple literature. Dude, there's actually we'll bring up Abe Troyer the Amish after this. But I was reading the book of Enoch the other day, dude, and there was something that was like so obviously intercession of the saints, dude. This is Second Temple literature, right? See if I can find it real quick.
You said Enoch.
I got it. Got you. And Michael, Uriel, Raphael, and Gabriel looked down from heaven and saw much blood being shed on the earth and all the lawlessness being wrought on the earth. They said to one another, the earth made without inhabitant cries the earth made without inhabitant cries the voice of their crying up to the gates of heaven. And now to you, the holy ones of heaven, talking to Michael, Uriel, Raphael, and Gabriel. To you, the holy ones of heaven, the souls of men make their suit, saying, bring our case before the Most High.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty. I mean, you can't get around that.
That's what that is.
I don't know how you get around that. See, like, if you bring something like that up to them, I just don't, like, from me, eventually you just have to accept that, yeah, I don't know what to do with that verse. Like, at the very minimum, you have to just say, yeah, that's pretty devastating to their position.
This was like a Jewish practice. This is from like what, the 100s, 200s BC, Second Temple Jewish literature. This is the Jews believe this, like, very obviously. So
now the holy ones, and the interesting thing is it the plural holy ones of heaven, the souls of men, make their suit, saying, which even if this would actually be a really good argument also for multiplicity in God too, because one I think could reasonably say, well, holy ones just means Trinity. But then that would destroy any people that say, well, the Trinity was
Michael, Uriel, or Raphael, and Gabriel right here.
That's how they would try and get around it, is what I'm saying, is they would say, well, holy ones is just referring to this. And it's like,
I invite them to try to say that. It's so crazy, dude.
You can't, that's the problem, is that they're always like, one thing you have to remember is that they isolate verses, which is why I still argue, other than the fact that verses help you like find things in the scriptures, they're actually done immense amount of harm to biblical like studies, because now people like take a verse, extract it, and then slam a bunch of them together.
Pufferfish, dude, this is funny. Protz will just say it's not in the Bible, so it doesn't count. I'm using it as a historical witness.
Yeah.
Well, although for Orthodox, you guys know about the list of Saint Nikephoros? Let me see if I can find it.
Well, it's kind of like with the proto-evangelion of James, like that it is a useful attestation, and it's not considered necessarily heretical in the sense that it's like that it's overtly like false, like it's teaching something overtly false, but it's definitely a useful attestation at the very minimum. So
yeah. Where is this? Saint Nicephorus of Constantinople in the early 800s is a list of books, and he includes Enoch on there as one that's good for reading. You know who actually preserved the manuscripts for the Book of Enoch? Give you guys a hint. There's one from Qumran. It's the Orthodox dude. Preserved it. I think there's an Ethiopic manuscript, maybe. Dude, I want to find this list of books. Because this is like kind of authoritative. I'm not saying you have to believe this. But there's something there. Why can't I find it? This is going to bug me, dude. All right, well, I can't find it. Alex refuted. Bam. Abe, what's on your mind, dude?
Okay, hello, people do. Can you hear me?
Yo, what's up? It's in the back of the book. Yes. Hold on 1 second. I'll be right back.
Abe, how are you doing? I am taking over.
Not too bad. Christ is risen.
Indeed, he is risen.
So I was just kind of come up. I just had a couple little comments on the debate.
Yeah.
I thought it was really interesting and
sorry.
Go ahead, Alex. You had something there.
Yeah.
I think.
I was trying to find it online. Father Stephen has it in the back of his Apocrypha book. But there is some foundation for these books to be read in private and to gain something from them. So here, Father Stephen. So this is Father Stephen's book, Apocrypha. And he has Saint Nicephorus's list in the back of the book. I don't know if that's in focus, if you want to take a screenshot, but he has books accepted by some and not others, and then books to be read in private. He has Enoch, the Testaments of the 12 Patriarchs, the Prayer of Joseph, the Testament of Moses, the Assumption of Moses, Eldad and Modad, 4 Esdras, books of Baruch, the Didache, and a bunch of the Acts of the Apostles to be read as informative. So there is, in the Orthodox tradition, some foundation for the Book of Enoch being instructive, although not everything would be perfect. But Father Stephen sends Alex on a side quest. W stream. Yeah, this is good material in here. And Father Stephen's section on Enoch is very good. You can get this one on Audible, by the way. I paid twice for this book. I got the physical copy, and then I got it on Audible as well.
Who's voicing it?
Father Stephen is. He
Oh,
himself
he is?
is
Okay.
voicing it, yes.
His silky smooth voice.
I'm gonna have to get that then on Audible then.
Yeah, the section on Enoch is great. You know what's funny is I was going through the chapters, and it's like maybe 40 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour. The chapter on the Book of Enoch is like 2 hours.
we just need Father Stephen to get a super high quality mic, and then he's just gonna do Father Stephen reading his books ASMR, fall asleep to my silky smooth voice, right?
It's on Audible. Yeah.
I always find that funny. That's such a weird phenomenon. Is the ASMR stuff. It's such a weird one.
Brett, what's up, dude? Hey, if you guys want, Brett has a YouTube channel called the Woolen Sword, where he instructs people on how to make prayer ropes. So that way, if you want to like fundraising for your parish or something, he like walks you through the process, how to do it. I have one from Brett on my wrist right here. It's pretty good. So if you guys want to check that out, man's got 24 subscribers. Go subscribe and learn about making prayer ropes. Ah. What's your question, Abe?
Yeah, I just had a couple comments on the debate. I
Yeah.
noticed. I think it was like either 5 or 10 minutes into the open discussion. I thought it was really funny that Brian literally became the laughing stock of the room. I don't know if you noticed, but like the whole room was laughing.
The retard thing.
Well, I can't remember whether
That's
it was
where I heard
there.
everybody laughing because he was like, "You can't call people that. You are one." It's-
Yeah,
How do you not see the contradiction.
Yeah, I was thinking that there was like even a little bit before that and a little bit after that, but I couldn't really pay attention too much while I was listening to the debate because I was laughing too hard. But yeah, that trying to think what the next thing I was going to say, but then like that last that I had secondhand embarrassment like the whole debate until his closing statement, and then I was just like, "F you."
Yeah, it's horrible that he brought that up. Very
Yeah,
unprofessional and irrelevant. It's like just when you think it couldn't get any worse.
Yeah, he at that point, like he had hit all of the like bad fallacies, and then at that point it just became vindictive and nasty. Because which by the way, this is one of the reasons why I will never ever not defend Andrew Wilson and Rachel Wilson against some of the slander they get. It's absolutely disgusting because that's what they always go to. By the way, I've seen more than a few of the Protestants who pearl clutch about Orthodox all the time say some absolutely horrendous things about Rachel Wilson and her personal life. So they have nothing to talk about. And it's all the usual suspects. So I have absolutely no patience for the false piety signaling from these people. It's like, oh, the Ortho bros are so bad. And then they go off and do things like that, which is, again, what Alex pointed out is that these are all like, this is not new. Brian is just like the synthesis of an atheist doing it. But all of the Protestants that I've seen debating this, they do it, but they do it nicely. Oh, they're super nice about it. So that means it's okay. You know,
I just
it's like,
can't in good conscience get behind this thing. It's like, okay, I get that you don't like it, which that's basically what that means. You don't like it. You have reasons. What are your reasons? You have to talk to them like they're children or something.
I mean, it's even worse than the OF hoes, like when they're trying to bring personal attacks against Andrew and Rachel. It's like, you know, the OF girls, you know, it's like, oh, you smoke, but then like these people are like, you know, attacking, you know, bad things and your tragedies that have happened in their life. Like it's amazing that the people on OF are a better example for Christianity than Protestants.
I don't know if I would go that far, but
no, I wouldn't go that far, but it's not. The culture that we see today is definitely a result of the lack of robust ability for Protestants to project any meaningful amount of culture or moral certitude or consistency. Because what when your theology is completely intersubjective because of the right of private judgment, it completely becomes powerless to exert itself in the culture, which is why you constantly see this need throughout history since the Protestant Reformation, this constant need to have a great awakening. We have another awakening. We need another like rally.
we need a revival. We need a new
revival.
Pentecost.
Yes, we got to get the spirit of Pentecost, and the most latest one that was kind of semi like big was the Young Reformed and Restless movement. That was the last big one. That was like during the New Atheist era, right? And that completely petered out, completely died off. It had no meaningful impact on the culture at all. So,
well, I think it's not necessarily because they have, well, you know, obviously that's the further thing, but I think they have no meaningful impact on the culture because they have no meaningful impact even on their own church. Because if I don't like what you're saying, I can just go start Billy Bob's Baptist Church down the street, you know.
Might as well.
King James Bible.
Yeah. I got $5 from Paul of Tejas, any chance of Father DeYoung tonight? I have a question for you too, but I'm still itching to ask Father one. I think he may be busy this evening. Actually, I'm telling you guys, keep an eye out. Might be something big coming associated with Father Stephen. You can ask me a question. $5 from Alex Jag. Yeah, but have you thought about participating in the energies of God through the Spider-Man analogy? Spider-Man, Superman. There's no shortage of superheroes here. Bridge City says, it's my birthday. Great hanging out with my ortho bros. Well, here, I got this for you for your birthday.
Amen. Hallelujah.
Many years. And there's this comment from Moses Verdon. I thought, he said, I see Orthodox pearl clutching about Rachel and Andrew. Yeah, there are some Orthodox that do that. I've seen that on Twitter. Like these, you just gotta let them do their thing. Like they're doing their thing, right? Let them do their thing. Is the big thing his appearance on IBS in May for Father Stephen? It may indeed be. Keep an eye out, guys. Yeah. Any other questions, Abe? Observations, rumors?
I just had one other observation. Yeah. This, if you look at Shapiro's talking style during the debate and everything, it's basically exactly what his radio show is, and it's basically, you know, your low tier radio host stuff that he's just talking about this and that and rambling rather than actually opinion. Yeah, it is very much a, you know, he has no understanding of what he's actually saying beyond the just saying the words over again. And yeah. I just thought, you know, so much radio host over and over again. But yeah, anyway, that's all my thoughts about the debate. Other than, you know, basically what's already been said. So y'all have a wonderful evening.
Thanks, you too. Thanks for calling in. Yeah, I think there was some of that. Like, he's just talking about his opinion, but like nobody cares about his opinion. Like, this is a debate. Stop giving me your commentary.
Yeah, it's he went pundit mode. Like, oh, I'm gonna be a pundit, and it's like, this is a debate.
I don't think you should be telling people how to live their life. Why are you telling me what I can tell people or not?
That's telling me how to live my life. By the way, you don't need to say anything, but I heard from the rumor mill, and this was a while ago, that Father Stephen might be a guest on a very large platform real soon. So I'm hoping that is the case. I'm not going to say anything. I won't say it, but I just heard that might be the case.
You don't want to say anything until it airs. You didn't hear from me. I don't know where
you didn't hear from me either. I just heard a rumor, and not from Alex, by the way. So if anyone, I just heard from like the cherry tree. It just so happened. So I just. Sorry, I don't know. I just thought.
No, you're good. What's up, Paul of Texas?
Heard that through the grapevine, did you? Christ is risen.
Indeed, he is risen.
Okay, so yes. Also, Alex, you have adapted to my name change. After I confessed my issue with my name change last time, I tried to change my name to Paul of Texas. I couldn't. It wouldn't let me. So I had to go Orthodox traditional with my state name and say Tejas. So you got that right.
Good. Yeah. All right. Thanks.
Okay. So the question I did have for you. And also I'm glad that Nikolai is here because. So a question for both of you. I imagine this is the case, but are y'all familiar with Jay's tag argument?
Yes.
Oh gosh, did I just commit a? What is the? As long as I didn't do the thing where you say like a chai latte or a chai tea, where it's like this TT. Okay, so would it be a fair thing to say with the whole tag angle that it is indeed circular reasoning, but because you're bottoming out in an eternal God, that works in a way that it won't with anybody else? Because in the end, when we're trying to ground a meaning, we're probably all going to bottom out in circular reasoning. But
I
if you're
think
trying to
bottoming
not
out
use
is the right, I think bottoming out is the right term there. It's just eventually, like once you get to that level, it's going to be self-referential. That's why
Yes.
Jay is not a foundationalist. He's not a coherentist. It's epistemic holism is his position. So
Okay, I have not heard that
it's going to
term.
get, yes, it's an argument, as he always says, for the system as a whole.
Yeah. Okay, so I heard his argument the other day with that. I think it was yesterday, with that older gentleman that everybody in the comments was dogging. Not here, but in the actual debate that had he had a speech impediment where he had the W's like Elmer Fudd. And when the guy accused him of using circular reasoning, he said, "Yeah, but," and I encountered basically tag on my own accidentally, like in my own thought. Although
Hey,
nowhere near as
sorry to
thought out.
interrupt, but we got 1999 from Rachel Wilson. Hey, very well done, by the way. That debate was textbook. Also, Brian Shapiro was horrible. Like, who put this guy on the stage?
I just feel
That
bad.
was
Like
really
Rachel
bad.
needs better opponents. She needs better opponents. Like who? Like there's got to be somebody out there that can actually like.
She approached this debate like, I mean, if you watch through the review, you'll see it was like textbook. It was just like everything that she needed to do was there.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
Yeah, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. What the soundboard can I here we go.
I'm BIPOC too. I identify as black.
That's what yeah. Oh, and then the Ruslan.
What is my bank account going to look like in the next 2 to 3 years? I need 7 figures. I need 7 figures.
As you guys know, I'm working to one up Ruslan here. He's going for 7 figures. I need 8 figures. So, Rachel, thank you for helping me on my journey to 8 figures. Appreciate that. Sorry, Paul of Texas. What were you saying, man?
No, absolutely. I mean, I encountered it on my own, but I have nowhere near the training he does. So sometimes when he provides that argument and people critique him, I kind of felt their critique, but I felt like it was limp, but I had no way to explain why.
Wait, hold on. Sorry. Dude, I'm very sorry, but
Is it her again? Okay, no.
Moses is saying should watch his review of Andrew versus Owen. Yeah, I made very clear what I thought about Andrew versus Owen. I thought that it was an unpopular debate topic. I think that in the openings they were pretty even. In the rebuttals, I think Owen came out slightly stronger. And I think that in the Crossfire, I think that's where Andrew pulled away. So I think it was a close debate because it was such an unpopular opinion for Andrew. But Andrew made some, like, here's the thing. You have the debate prompt, which is, was the Trump presidency a success? Everybody sees that in different ways, right? What does success mean? Andrew was saying that he made progress in the right direction. That's how Andrew was defining success. And I think that he could have made that clearer in his opening. And because his view was more nuanced, he wasn't able to use the approach that he normally takes in his debates, which is just like blast one obvious hole in the other side and just go for the kill shot. So because it was more nuanced and he was like a little bit defensive, I think his approach to this debate was slightly different. I do still think that he won that debate, especially when you're considering, did he accomplish the purpose that he set out to do? Which is yes, right? Did he convince people? I think that the Trump presidency was a success. I don't know. But in terms of like, did he accomplish what he's trying to do? Yes, he did. So I think that debate was closer. It was also a hard prompt for Andrew to defend.
It's a bad prompt altogether, to be fair.
It doesn't change what I think about Rachel's debate. I mean, I'm just honest with everybody. That's what I think. What sue me, whatever. Sorry, Nikolai, go ahead.
No, I thought you were done. I just thought it was a bad debate prompt altogether. His presidency isn't over. We're not even halfway through his second term.
Well,
so
and
it's
by
like,
the time he agreed to it, we were only like a lot changed in the war since then.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the biggest problem Owen had, and this is just my analysis, is that Owen didn't have like an objective standard that he was appealing to. Like there was never one point where he was just
Well,
like
he
this.
also didn't come equipped with evidences and proofs, because when Andrew pushed him on that, you can't say he's a PDF file, right? Like you have to show me literally, where does it say? Like, get the page, show me. And
Well, and his saying, well, the redactions, and it's like, yeah, but Owen, the redaction process is a nightmare. And I know I mentioned that in the comments,
Yeah.
and you brought it up, but like people don't realize how the government redaction process is. I think you might have some familiarity because of law, but like even in lawyers, when you're redacting
military
something,
has
it's
like different rules and standards.
DOD, military, and the government have similar rules, but there are slight differences. But it's in an exhaustively long process, and you're talking millions of documents. So it's like, by the way, these have to be hand reviewed. They can't just throw it through an AI, right? Legally, they can't. So people, I think, overestimate how difficult that is. But in the end, I think Andrew's weakest point was the defense of Iran, the Iran war. He could have brought up much more stronger defenses for that and said, like, he didn't need to say that he agrees with it, but he could have brought up like reasonable arguments in favor for it or against it, right? Or he could have just said how it doesn't meet the metric of a failure, right? So I don't know. I feel like Owen really only had two arguments, and that was my biggest critique of Owen. It's like, Owen, you need to bring up more than just that. It's like, the economy's bad. Everybody knew tariffs were going to be a rough start. Like, nobody went into this thinking tariffs were going to be like instant miracle economy, like Miracle on the Han River style, like Korea style stuff, So anyways,
Owen definitely, there is no, okay, come on, dude. I mean, let's be serious. What are they doing there? It's a battle in Iran. Is that what they're doing? Like,
yeah.
I mean, in the common parlance sense of the term war, I'm not saying like an official according to the definition of the blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
But like Owen definitely had a privileged position, because all he had to say was, Trump promised no wars. What's happening in the Middle East right now? Yeah. Trump promised a better economy. What are your gas prices? That's all he had to do. And then Andrew was also holding back. He wanted to beat Owen on his own ground, which is the fact. If he had brought philosophy in, he would have destroyed.
Maybe.
I think, I don't know if he was holding back. I think it's he has a more complicated position, so he's going to need to have more time to flesh it out. So like Owen comes in, and like all he has to do is like just say a few things very clearly and concisely. Andrew has to, like, because his position is nuanced, he has to explain all these things.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a disadvantage there. But again, I think Owen won that debate. Or not Owen. Oh my goodness. I think Andrew won that debate. It's not a Freudian slip. But I think Andrew, in the opening was equal. I think the rebuttal, Owen edged it out slightly. And I think that in the Crossfire section, Andrew pulled ahead there.
Yeah.
So thank you for the $5.
That's amazing.
That's amazing.
That's amazing.
Got him. Clip it. Yeah. I'll never vote, so I clip it. Yeah. I got wrecked. Okay, Paul of Texas. I'm sorry I've stopped you twice now, dude. I apologize.
I am a real life Butters Leopold Stotch, so I hold nothing against you. It's just how it is. If you watch South Park, you know what I'm referring to.
I do.
Well, I mean, it's not healthy, but so I guess in finality, so that I can let you go. Let me ask you this as a clarifying question. Would you say that that's a fair thing to, let's say, admit, not in a debate necessarily, because you don't want to just do that, but in a conversation, which is more where I live, that yes, indeed, it is circular reasoning, but unlike people who inevitably fall into, like, they bottom out at a finite concept, our argument can, so to speak, rise from the dead, because God is infinite, and so there ends up not being an issue, because ultimately, yes, it is all grounded in God. Or is there a better way to say that?
I just wouldn't say the term circular reasoning because that's a fallacy. But I think
Okay.
I think that like you get into, because it's such a meta level discussion, it will eventually become self-referential. Like there's only so many orders of logic you can go up the ladder and do before things, like you said, bottom out.
Question.
Well, so if some okay, excuse me.
No, question, because maybe both of you can, because I'm thinking about this. The only way they could argue that it's self-referential is if they're saying you're appealing to God for proof. God exists because God exists. That would be self-referential, right? God exists because God exists. But from our paradigm, from a tag argument, while it is circular in a sense, it's a roundabout way circular. It's not self-referential, right? So we're not saying God exists because God exists. We're saying God exists because you have to be able to root these transcendent categories in God. And then they say, well, how do you know that? You say divine revelation. Well, that's not a vicious circle. That's not vicious circularity, where it's like, well, transcendent categories exist because transcendent categories exist, right? That's not viciously circular. That's like a reference. It's not self-referential in like a one-point circle. So I guess my thoughts is it's not strictly circular in the way that a lot of like atheists end up getting it boiled down to, where it's where they just say the universe exists because the universe exists, right? That's essentially what they argue. So
Okay, so let me bother to take up more of y'all time. Excuse me, but like I see those comments you're letting Isaiah HEB or Isaiah EB put up.
Yeah.
So all of creation, like all of the cosmos as God's created it, is basically a big web of meaning with nodes. They're connected. So everything is connected to each other. Ultimately, some things are more tangential than others. But
What do
so
you?
as I
Oh,
see it,
okay, you lost me. What do you mean? Some things
well,
are more
I mean,
connected than others.
well, so for
What
instance, the
things?
idea of well, I mean at a very, very meta level. So the idea between a rock and a stone are going to be closer connected than a rock and a chair. But ultimately, like in terms of how our minds actually work in terms of raw meaning, ultimately a rock and a chair can be connected too, even if only at the level of matter. So are we saying, like, where does this distinction come in to play? Because as I see it, that does end up ultimately being circular in kind of like a meta sense, but I don't mean in a way that makes it stupid or
Yeah,
irrelevant.
it's
I need to know what
self-referencing.
vicious I need to know what vicious whatever that vicious term is versus what did he say, recursion. Like, what is the difference between those?
The recursion is just being self-referencing. So like on lower orders of logic, circularity would be a fallacy. But if you're talking about the grounding of logic itself, you're going to have to use logic, right? If
Yeah,
you're going to
which is
talk
rough.
about language and discuss what is language, you're going to be using language as you do that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what
the idea.
that's how I kind of encountered it on accident on my own, is basically realizing that if you're going to fully try to step into an atheist's shoes, and that atheist is going to be honest and brave, they basically have to accept absurdism, which is of course absurd, because we can't create meaning, or nihilism. But nihilism, even saying the sentence nihilism is correct, is self-defeating, because you have to admit that the words mean something, and that you're
Yeah.
saying something when you say it, and that somebody understands something when you say it to them. So like I agree 100% that even using languages, so whenever I hear atheists argue anything basically from their position, they're self-defeating from the get-go, but they don't see it. But
Yeah.
like, so whenever they're critiquing tag, how do what route is there to acknowledge what they're saying when they try to accuse us of it being circular, so to speak, at least, but that we can then reroute in a way to try to show them that the fact that you're even speaking defeats your own position?
What do you mean, like, reroute? I mean, the idea is that if you're going to have any debate or conversation about anything, you have a bunch of, like, there's there's a bundle of ideas that everybody kind of uses when they talk about anything. Like one of those is telos in the universe. If everything is just like accidental, then you can't actually have knowledge about things.
Yeah.
I'm not. If you could
Well, so
clarify
if
exactly what
like
the question is.
like you just said, you have to come with a bundle of ideas. If the atheist wants to say there is no God, not like the Alex Connor soft position of atheism,
Yeah,
where
the
they're
tag
basically
argument is
agnostic.
that he's just getting rid of that entire bundle of ideas that any debate is premised on anyway. So you can't.
Okay, fair. So maybe my question is, in actuality, is there any way to direct them to see if you're an atheist and you bother to bring an argument at all, you're self-defeating because there is no meaning without God, and so there's no bundle of ideas. There's no anything.
Yeah. I don't think you can. I don't think there's like a quick way to do that. I think you just have to walk them through each category.
You got to dog walk them, as Father Stephen says. Sometimes you got to dog walk them. To just leave it off on that, and this will be the last thing I mention on this, is that eventually you can also. I like to lead people to what are the logical entailments of their position, and their position, if it leads to absurdity, you can just throw your hands up and say your position leads us to absurdity, and they'll just say, well, what's wrong with this absurdity? And you just say, debate over. Like at that point, if they're willing to accept absurdity, then there's really not much more that you could do to convince them. They're not an honest interlocutor at that point. If they're willing to adopt absurdity, it's over. And that's my position. So
Father Stephen has 2 chats here in the chat that I think are helpful. He goes, if you make first on the recursion, he says, if you make a logical argument regarding the grounding, therefore validity of logic, you're assuming what you're attempting to prove. And then in terms of that problem that you said, like, well, they just accuse us of circularity and just ignore what we say. He says, I just go full Nietzsche and say that logic is a word game with invented rules. The whole thing falls apart. So I guess, that's probably a move, is like, well, what's your alternative? The alternative that you have is that logic is just a bunch of word games. It's not grounded in anything. And there's no actual order to.
So you actually just do take, like, you don't try and redirect them to see the fault. You actually take an offensive point to force them to face
let's
it.
look at the consequences of your view.
Yep. Force them into absurd position. And once they have an absurd, because remember, when you're debating somebody, 90% of the time, you're not going to convince somebody who's already super rock solid in their position. That's going to take a change of heart. With a lot of atheists, that's the case. But if you're debating somebody in a public sphere where there's other people listening, when you force someone to take such an absurd position that they're not able to defend it, and it's just completely incoherent and leads them to these just insane positions, well, at that point, you've won over more people than they have, because no one wants to live a life. No one actually does live a life like that. And that's another thing you can do. You can also point out, do you actually live as if life is an absurdity? Like this absurd worldview you've adopted, do you actually live like that? No, you don't live like that, right? No one lives like that. So I feel like that's a strong argument as well. So
I mean, that's fair. That's more or less what Alex had said the other night when I called to ask about, basically kind of like because I'm a bleeding heart. So if I take the idea of like, how do y'all get away with like debating how y'all do sometimes? What's the reasoning for it? And it was like that. You're trying to win the souls of those caught in between. So I'm not ever debating, but I do want to think like a debater, because that's where you're really going to like cut between and divide and really understand. I don't ever want to do it, God forbid, but I do want to think like one. So
you have to be critical.
I mean, thank y'all very much.
Yeah.
And Father DeYoung, I do still want to grill you on that one question, but thank you so much for chiming in.
Cool. Thanks, Paul. $5. Lego Joseph Smith just challenged you.
Oh.
Is he a big deal?
He's kind of big on X.
Do people listen to what he has to say?
I have no idea, because I don't follow him, but I just know he's like relatively large on X.
I would, but I want somebody with a big YouTube following, because I'm mostly on YouTube. So thank you for the $5 though. I would debate a Mormon, and their theology is crazy, dude. Flavius, $20. Thank you. They accuse Andrew Wilson for the same things fans accuse his enemies of. The only thing is, Andrew Wilson is honest, tries to argue in good faith. By far the toughest one Andrew Wilson has had in a while. Yeah. I mean, Tough in what sense, right? Because he accomplished the I don't think it was tough for him to accomplish what he wanted to accomplish. Like I said, I think the persuading the listeners part was the tough one for him. Like, I mean, we have to make a difference between that, right? Like, it would be really tough to persuade people on this topic, but in terms of, you know, he showed what he wanted to show, right? $10 from the cheap chimp. At my Orthodox church, there's a member who's been going for 5 years who was raised atheist and was convinced by prominent atheists losing in debates versus Christians. Well, look at that. Debates matter after all. People trying to tell me debates don't make a difference. I have like hundreds of comments. I'm not bragging. I'm just saying, like, how can you tell me that when you're on that side and I'm on this side? Like, you're not in my shoes, dude. Like, we're seeing two different things. So yeah, that's a good point. Thank you for the super chats, everybody. In the vein of the last caller, hey, here's something from the soundboard for you guys.
Tell me your epistemic justification for that claim. What's the proof of the evidence?
Tell me your epistemic justification. These guys. What's your epistemic justification? Tony, what's on your mind, dude? What's up, Tony? Tony.
I saw him on mute.
Tony.
We're literally begging you. Yes, we can.
Yes. What's up? What's
Hey,
on your mind?
can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. So cool to be calling in. Oh my gosh.
Good to have you, man. What's
Been fans from the beginning.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Wait, hold on. I'm getting echo. I can't hear you guys.
Test.
What am I doing wrong? Okay, hold on. Now I can hear you.
Yeah, go ahead. What's on your mind?
Yeah. I'm a theology student in finals hell, and right now I'm writing an essay on analogia entis, and I'm trying to understand how our Orthodox view differs from the various Catholic views, Aquinas and Scotus. I talked to a monk who's a professor of theology who happens to go to my parish, and he said Maximus's logi is the solution. I'm just not quite understanding how everything goes together.
I do not know the answer to this question. You know who I think you should ask? It's Father Deacon Ananias, because he went to St. Thomas Aquinas College. And I think he's streaming in the mornings now.
Oh, very helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, he would be the guy to ask on this, because I think he has a good understanding of both views.
He also accepts DMs on X. If you have an X account, he'll just message you. So he's very open about that stuff. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Also,
sorry,
so
man.
cool to be calling in. I love to put the streams on while I play Minecraft and
nice.
Work on my homework. It's great. Big fan since the beginning. Also, Rachel absolutely trounced that guy.
Yeah. Yeah, she did.
It's like, okay, mom is in the house. Mom is home and she's going to work. I love Rachel so much.
He did look like a bit of a rowdy teenager, and she just kind of sat him down and whatever, grabbed the flip flop or the wooden spoon or whatever it was and just disciplined him.
Yeah. All right. I'll let you guys get on with it. Analogia entis is a rat's nest of scholasticism. Yeah. The problem is you're kind of stuck, because as soon as you say, oh, the Trinity has one nature and humanity has one nature, which you kind of have to do if you want to, make the Chalcedonian definition, then, okay, what are we saying with, then what's the relationship between what we mean by nature when we talk about humanity versus nature when we talk about divinity? Because we don't want to fall into univocity of being a la Duns Scotus.
Yeah.
Which maybe I'm just talking about stuff that nobody here is too familiar with, but yeah. Maybe I need Rachel and her wooden spoon.
Well, I think it's important to just use. For me, it's I could dip into that, and I think there's some use in that. But I just look at the Holy Fathers, and I'm like, we should just understand the terms that they use, because even like the way they use nature in the West, it's like not the same way Basil uses nature and St. Gregory of Nyssa. Like usually when they're talking about nature, they're talking about like causal effects. Like if you have a piece of metal and you want to find out like what it is, you go and like test its melting point and its malleability, and then after you find out all these causal effects, then you realize, oh, this is gold. It has the nature of gold. And I think that's the same way that they approach nature. Father Stephen says to look at St. Staniloy's Dogmatics, Volume 1.
Thank you, Father. That's very helpful.
I think
the patron of the stream.
Yeah.
Yes, St. Staniloy. He is, yes, the patron of the stream. I have an icon of him incoming, so.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes, I'll put it up proudly.
Is it from Romania? Did you order it from Romania?
No, I've ordered it from Uncut Mountain Supply, but I'm going to, the next time I go to Romania, obviously I'm going to go on a massive icon spree.
Are you gonna do a documentary, a docu travel blog series for the channel when you go to Romania next?
Look out for my collaboration with Neil.
Oh, okay.
There's some cool stuff in the works, guys. You know, there's some
That's
stuff
awesome.
coming. Yeah.
The trouble is, like, I don't want to have to deal with Analogia Entis, but you know, I'm stuck. I'm at a Catholic school. Yeah, I know. It's all about God's attributes. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? Like, but Father, then how do we talk about? Then what do we mean by? Then how does the Nicene definition like make sense with to say three persons in one essence if essence is surpassed as a category? In one essence, three persons sharing one essence. Sorry, error of speech.
All the persons are revealed, right? I don't know. Persons are revealed. It's like the person. So in the Orthodox view, it's the person of the Father that is the glue that holds together the persons. We don't know anything about the nature. That's like what St. Basil says against Eunomius, is that like you're saying aseity is a part of the divine nature. You can't know anything about the divine nature. Why are you speculating about the divine nature? All you know are the energies, and that tells you something, but not fully about the divine nature. It's something that can't be grasped.
Yeah.
Right,
It tells
so
us
we know-
things that are apophatic about it.
Yeah. Well, and that's like that's a lot of that's in Saint Dionysius, who is the Areopagite, and I will die on this hill.
I agree.
And so we can say that there's one, and this is what Saint Basil says, right? It's that there's one essence because there is one energy.
Basically, yeah. If you really boil it down, then basically there is one energy.
I was literally just gonna say.
Humans are also homoousia with Christ, so ousia here is not identical to the concept of essence. Where's that?
Definitions.
It's all about definitions.
It's all about definitions. I'm just all about the Chalcedonian definition.
It's a pretty good one.
It's
As
a
far as
pretty good
definitions
definition.
go, it's one of my favorites.
I think St. Basil gives some good definitions too. Like on hypostasis is a great one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's important.
Is the one
Isaiah
act is
says they are
identical
what
from
he's I think this is from Not Three Gods.
Yeah,
They have one
that's-
act. That's identical from the Father. I think that part is important too. Has to flow from the Father. Yeah. This means that sharing a nature and being homoousios are being used as equivalent terms.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm writing this paper on Klaus Hemmerle, if anyone knows who that is.
Nope.
Unfortunately, no.
I don't know any
It's
of these
like the
words.
lamer Western version of John Zazulis' Being as Communion.
Oh, okay. Well, I like Zazulas.
Yeah, I like Zazulis too. And I'm trying to defend all the parts of Hemmerle that are basically Zazulis.
And everything that's not, you just throw it out.
Well, yeah, but also I can't
not bad.
completely dunk on the Latins, otherwise my professor would give me a bad grade. So
yeah, so you have to use a velvet glove.
And also you have to be friends with. I have to make friendships, otherwise.
True, you need these people to like you, right?
Yeah,
that's true. I when I was going through college, I know Alex might shame me for this. I don't know if he agrees, but I had a professor and I had some people that I knew that were like, listen, on certain classes and certain subjects, at the end of the day, C's get degrees. At the end of the day, no one is going to look and say, give me your grade report for how you got your degree. They look at you got your degree. I've never met a company in all my years that said, do you have your grade reports from each of the classes that you got? They said, no. Did you get your degree? Did you graduate?
I worked at a hoity-toity law firm for like a year, and they asked for my transcripts.
Oh, really? I've never had that happen,
but I think you're right. Generally, like your experience, what you've been able to accomplish, will speak a lot more than your academic credentials in the real world. Obviously, if you're going for a career in academia, then maybe your academic credentials will be more important. But
yeah, well, I'm going for a PhD down the line, so I do have access to Hemmerle in English. Let me pull it out so I can say which translation it is.
Father Stephen says, put another way, the divine nature is infinite, and all created natures are finite. So the divine nature is not a circumscription or a limit. All created natures are.
Okay, so the divine nature is defined by its limitlessness. Is that kind of what Father is saying?
Basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here, for the guy who asked about Hemmerle in English, it's the Churchyard translation from Angelico Press. It's the one with like the weird, cool circle art on the cover. I got it on Amazon for like $20.
Pufferfish just roasted you.
Yeah, fair enough. My own girlfriend calls me gay, so.
I mean,
she's like, I'm gonna keep calling you. I'm gonna keep calling you that until I reform you, and it's like, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't accept that meekly.
Yeah.
Never do it.
I mean, really, the sucker in that situation is her, because she's a girl dating somebody and she's calling them gay. Is her boyfriend gay? No, he's not.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Kind of goes back on her, right?
It's a cell phone.
It's a bit of a cell phone.
I love her though. You gotta have a woman to keep you humble.
Maybe
a little bit. Indeed, they do. I was talking to a lawyer that was more experienced than me once, and she's like, it's always weird when you see judges in public. She's like, I was going to some spin class at the gym, and I saw federal judge so-and-so there, and I, walked up to him, like, very respectful. I was like, honorable judge so-and-so, like, fancy seeing you here or whatever. And his wife was also in the class, and she was like, she said something like, John, why are you talking to people? You have to go pick up the kids or something. Like, totally different attitude than this lawyer respectfully approaching this federal judge. And she said something similar to what you said. Said, behind every powerful man, there's a wife telling him to put his socks in the laundry basket at home.
Yeah. Same thing. I met 4-star generals when I used to have to go into their homes and install things for them. Like,
not me, some other lawyer I was talking to, Micmex. Not me.
Alex goes to spin class, guys. Now that's verified. No, yeah, 4-stars are the same way. You go into their homes and it's like just like a trash. It's like trash, and you're like, oh, that's not how they dress in their office. They're like all proper, and it's like, no, their homes are a mess just like anybody else. And there's always like a general's wife who's sitting there and like chastising him and things like that. And baking cookies, and so it's like, oh man, I didn't think the general ate
Yeah.
cookies. You know, so like, you don't think of it that way because you always view people by their like professional
Yeah.
persona. So I get it.
I didn't say it was tonight. I said it was. Did I say tonight? Maybe I said tonight. It was today, but now he's playing Marvel Rivals because he probably had a big day. But Alex spinning. That's funny. Cool. All right. Well, thanks for calling in,
All right.
Tony.
Thank you for having me. I'll be
Yeah,
sure
man.
to call in on future streams, especially once I'm out of school.
Bet. Sounds
But
good.
thank you for having me. Have a blessed one.
Yep. Later. Simpleton, what's up, man?
Hello, guys. I'm fine, thank you. How are you guys doing?
Oh, same old. What's on your mind?
So I wanted to ask about your opinions on American culture and how the foundations of it seems very anti-Christian, and how that looks to turning America back into a Christian nation. That's one of my
I don't think we can go back. I think we need to redefine America as a whole, because you're right, it's premised on like a weird combination of like puritanical and Enlightenment values. So I think we just need to baptize it with Holy Orthodoxy, and maybe I'm thinking that'll do the trick.
I hear that. It's just that
But
like,
I see what you're getting at, and I agree with you.
like it's also like super anti-hierarchical. Like America, correct if I'm wrong, right? I'm British, but you broke away from the Brits, and you basically create an amalgamation of different states together. And the whole principle is that you're basically anti-hierarchy. So if orthodoxies are hierarchical, if I'm wrong, like please correct me. But if orthodoxy is quite hierarchical, you need to follow your leaders. And America, in a sense, is kind of like all about freedom of the individual. Those
Well, I
two
mean,
seem like
it's
very
based off of like the Roman Senate model, right? It's like a representative republic, but because like all of the powers of the president have broadened like a lot since George Washington, like a lot, and then like once some office like that gains power, they're not gonna like voluntarily relinquish it. And then just like spreading out the voting base so much, like it has kind of just become a rule by the mob, like mob rule in some way. I mean, there's still like the gerrymandering and the drawing voting districts in such a way that it kind of, there's like a check and balance against that. But I wouldn't say that it was founded in an anti-hierarchical way. It was reactionary, I think, to monarchy.
Which is anti-hierarchy to a degree, but America still had a very robust aristocratic class all the way up until roughly World War I was like the death knell of it. And it was actually funny enough that World War I was the death knell of monarchy and hierarchy in Europe as well, in a lot of ways. So America always had that. Our rugged individualistic mindset didn't really start coming into fruition until like the 60s and 70s with the hippies and all that other stuff. That's when a lot of our hierarchy kind of started shifting away from these, like, because we if you look at our history, a lot of presidents, they had cousins, brothers, or close friends, or other people that were like interrelated with each other that were running for the same offices. Like we had an aristocratic class in our political class, and we didn't have also universal suffrage. So there was always a certain sense of like hierarchy, but it wasn't as centralized as a monarchy. So, which is actually a problem in my opinion. I'm a monarchist, but at the end of the day, you got to take what you can get, And I agree with Alex too, that, the future of America is redefining and having a vision for the future, not trying to reclaim the past. Because a lot of people point to is like, oh, let's go back to the 1950s. You mean the 1950s, which set up the fall of America? like it was that cultural milieu that developed the 60s and 70s, which developed this disaster that we're living in now. So I always say, no, you want to go forward, not backwards. So which means offering a solution. So that's what I would say.
I hear you. And then my second point was about, have you heard about Brad Gregory? He's an American scholar at Notre Dame currently, and he wrote a book about the Reformation and the unintended Reformation and how the religious revolution caused secular society. Have you heard of that book?
I have not. No.
I think it will be, because you talk about religious pluralism quite a lot and subjectivity. I think that would be a good book. That he basically draws a line so it's the unintended revolution, how a religious revolution secularized society.
Okay.
And so he basically says that when the Reformation rebels against the Catholic Church, you basically have to say that religion cannot be used in public policy to help define it. Therefore, you have to go to a secular, rational basis for your public policy.
And then you kind of snowball in that direction.
Yeah. I've purchased the book. I'm on holiday currently, but I've purchased the book. I've watched a few lectures on YouTube, and I think it's very good. I think it's a very good book. And
I've seen some other people make this argument as well, like scholars talking about how that even prior to the Reformation, it was really like nominalism that pushed us into modernity. This idea that like each human being is just like a generic person, and they have like no story, they have no place that they come from, like they have no heritage, they have no family history. You're just like generic person number 7,300,666,001. And that idea of just like stripping people of that's like kind of what you need to have modernity. But like a bunch of guys talk about that, but this book is really interesting. I will definitely look into that. It's a good recommendation.
And then the last thing I had to talk about was the YouTuber called Reform Pastor Clips.
I know Reform Pastor Clips, yeah.
So I think he put out.
I know who he is. I don't like know him. But
he put out an open question to Orthodox about like justification, soteriology. I think he may be a decent person to speak to. I think he said he was interested in speaking with Father Stephen DeYoung, but he doesn't have a way to contact him. So I was wondering if you thought that would
intentional.
I think I commented on this post that I would like try like I don't know, ask a message to someone to connect it to. But I think it would be a decent maybe conversation, especially since he says he's open to speaking to him. If you could set that up, if that's something that you think would be a good discussion between the two, if Father Stephen is open to it. I just wanted to put that out there.
I will see if I mean tell Reform Pastor Clips to contact me. How about that?
Okay.
But if you want to talk to Father Stephen, he's got to get through me.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you.
I'm gonna gatekeep. I'm gonna shamelessly gatekeep Father Stephen here.
Rightly so. You shouldn't get to the big boss that easily.
That's right. Yeah.
I just say thank you guys for the work you do, and God bless you all.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Barlaam of Calabria's tantrum after losing to Palamas was the seed, not the Reformation. By the time the Reformation happened, it was way too late for Western Christianity to turn the train around. I'm going to do you one better. It was really Augustine did some too much thinking at some point and said something that somebody interpreted as the filioque. And
oh no, you're
really
going to upset certain
problem.
You're going to upset some people.
And I mean, just notice how carefully I phrased that, right?
Yeah.
Wow. Rebecca says, we're going to be winding it down here in a moment, guys. I kind of got a headache and I want to get some good sleep before tomorrow. Rebecca says, debates helped bring me to orthodoxy. I needed to hear someone to say that my beliefs were stupid and why. Me too. I'm kind of the same type of person.
Mm-hmm.
Alex, this is dumb. Why do you believe this? Like, just tell me. You don't have to be like, maybe we can theologically triage these issues and ironically explore in a careful, safe space. It's so lame. From experience, all who hear echo, drop your prior app. So they have two apps open at the same time. $10 from Paul of Tejas. I'm sorry, my question deviated so hard from the intent of the stream. I mean, it says chill stream. So that being said, notice Isaiah asking, Father DeYoung, are you proud of me? Enjoy that with him. Yeah, I think everybody wants Father Stephen, although he is father by clergy, he's also everybody's dad. 40 crush, $5. Brian Shapiro saying he was inspired by Howard Stern as a kid makes a lot of sense. Well, I mean, Howard Stern is like pretty degenerate and
yeah.
Yeah, like that's putting it lightly, right? So,
and he's not particularly the most, let's say, robust thinker on the planet.
Who the heck is Metaphysics Mike? Some Unitarian that I'm debating tomorrow. He's not an Arian, by the way. Everybody keeps confusing Unitarian and Arian. So he has his own special snowflake, unique position.
Yes.
Nobody in the history of Christianity has ever had the same position as him before.
So true.
So anyway, I am actually going to wrap it up. Jim Bob debated him like 5 times. Nikolai, anything you want to plug, dude? Thanks for calling in.
No, I was just gonna do a quick stream reacting to Ruslan's stuff actually here after you were done.
If you want to start it, I can send people your way.
Yeah, sure. I'll go live right now. Actually, here, let me do that.
But these guys saying short stream today. It's 3 hours, man. What do I have to? I guess comparatively,
you set expectations. You set them.
True. This is correct. I accept.
Oh man.
Comparatively, this would be a short one, yeah.
But yes, you guys are. I mean, you going to bat with Metaphysics Mike. That's going to be interesting. Definitely. Yeah. Yeah. We'll see how he does. I wasn't too impressed with his Jim Bob performance, but we'll see. Maybe he sharpened it up a little bit since then. So.
Well, there are just like some basic categories that like nobody's saying that the human nature is divisible. Like they're just yeah. I'll just say
well,
tomorrow.
It's yeah. We're not. Yeah, I don't want to spoil your stuff. Anyways, I'm gonna go and get that all started off. And you have a nice night. Thanks for having me on.
Bet. Yeah. Snow Quilters. I recall being told that your streams go 4 hours by you. Well, that's true. I contradicted myself. You got me. Uniqueness of Mike's position is proof it is not the faith of the apostles. Maybe you're onto something there, man. Tomorrow, how many hours from now? Your tomorrow is my double tomorrow. Like 20 hours ish, 9 p.m. So it's 11:30 for me right now. It's gonna be at 9 p.m. tomorrow. Like 20-ish hours. So good luck tomorrow, brother. We'll be watching. Good. I hope to not let you guys down. I don't think I will. Yeah, I'll give you guys the soundboard. It's so crazy, dude.
What is my bank account going to look like in the next 2 to 3 years? I need 7 figures. I need 7 figures.
I need. All right, hold on. Let me set it up so I can send you guys to Nikolai. I need 7 figures. I need 7 figures. Where is he? Reviewing Ruslan KD discussion. But guys, thanks so much for the donations and supporting the channel. Of course, it goes right back into more resources, more videos, and I've been focusing a lot on doing well in this debate. So I've read like everything, dude. You wouldn't imagine the slop that I've had to read just to get more acquainted with Unitarian positions. But women debating is cringe. You got this, Alex. Thank you, bro. I need 7 figures, 5 down, 2 to go. Easy peasy, right? 7 figures. I failed and said digits. I see why his Emperor of Byzantium. Yeah. Yes. But okay, guys, I'm gonna close down the stream. I'm gonna send you guys to Nikolai's stream. Thanks again for tuning in. This was a crazy debate between Brian Shapiro and Rachel was just textbook on this one, and that's all she really needed to do. It's sticking to the basics will take you a long way, right? And then I guess I'll see you guys all tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern time on Modern Day Debates. And also, I want to give you guys like another soundboard thing here.
Do you cry over Mother Mary on Friday nights?
That's Gnostic. That's
what?
That's Gnosticism.
It's
That's
nasty.
That's nasty. But all right. Love you guys. Bye.